is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system. The time of reckoning has begun. This message is to announce the beginning of the purge, as sanctioned by Huskers organization. For the next 60 minutes, all those present are hereby authorized to use their God-given weapons to inflict their will on any and all unwanted elements. It is of great importance that the intruders be dealt with harshly, as they have defiled this valley with their presence. You are tasked with their removal, and have been designated as their appropriate nemesis, the inexplicable agent of their downfall. Blessed be our cause to our valiant work, and may God be with you all.
Let's all please rise and remove our hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to another season of BCFC football here on the BCFC TV network. It's Ward Andrews along with Matt Macri, and we've got a great game to kick off the CJFL season. It is the Westshore Rebels out of Victoria paying a visit to Exhibition Stadium to face the Valley Huskers. For one team, Matt, the Westshore Rebels did not go as planned last year. Coach Shane Beatty did a massive overhaul. He's got some shiny new toys, and Kobe Henkel at quarterback and Bryson Mayo at receiver, along with a lot of defensive players. As for the Huskers, they want to build on the block from last year, right? 6-4, they made the playoffs for the first time in a while. New quarterback, but lots of new toys also for Bob Reist at the defensive position.
Well, not only the defensive, but the offense as well. I mean, the Huskers here have retained their nucleus, and then added a lot of talent. So it's going to be really interesting to see these two teams out here because, like you said, Westshore has done this massive rebuild, and they're shooting for a cup this year. They want the title. And the Huskers have been working, and it's finally coming together for them. They're putting all the pieces together strategically, and this is going to be a dogfight out here today.
All the pundits saying this could be to the Titans, at least defensively, in the BCFC, and you got 9 players that played U Sport last year playing for the Westshore Rebels, and the Huskers have added some big pieces too. In fact, we'll see 2 of them today, big boys on the end. Tyrese Viner Cox, he is the machine, played for the University of Calgary last year, and a player that everybody seemed like was recruiting, and that is Isaiah Latondra. Look for him also on the edge too. So they'll put a lot of pressure on this Westshore offensive line, which some are saying if there's an Achilles heel, it may be the offensive line. They need to protect the big stud back, the pivot in Colby Hinkle, the former Kamloops Bronco, and last year played for Windsor University.
Well, looking up and down this list, Westshore's only got 1 quarterback on their roster. So the offensive line being the Achilles heel here isn't a good thing because they only got 1 quarterback, so they got to keep him safe.
I'm sure some of the offensive linemen for the Westshore Rebels would beg to differ. And they will have 60 minutes here to prove us wrong and prove the pundits wrong. And it will be the Valley Huskers in the jet black and the green and white lettering. They will kick off to the Westshore Rebels in the white jerseys with the Kansas City red. And this season, the first of 3 games today in the BCFC getting set to get underway. Other games include the Battle of the Okanagan. And the first game in Canada is Wayne Bjorgi, the mastermind behind BBN, shouts out to us. And we are set. A lot of people calling this the game of the week. And there's the kick. And it is scooped up by number 4 of the Westshore Rebels, Bryson Mayo. The CJFL Offensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, played with the University of Calgary last year.
Well, he was on that Raiders team that won the title, and it was not because of him, but he played a large part on winning that title. He's a dynamic player, and they're going to have to keep him contained.
So they'll get things rolling from about the 30-yard line. Will the Westshore Rebels, Colby Hinkle, be the center? The running backs, there is a local flavor in there. Ebie Okoko Chomsing signing with them just days ago. Also look at Terrell Belanger, number 26, former VI Raider, speaking of the Raiders. And Zachary Lubin, number 27, played for the Langley Rams.
Well, I think that's
3 of the backs.
I think that's ABA in there right now. I can tell by the way he's standing. I've coached him for a lot of years. I am very familiar with ABA and his playing style.
We're number 25. He'll clear out of the backfield. Empty set in the backfield. There's some pressure. Henkel avoids, throws it deep, throws it long. Looking for Bryson Mayo, and that one will go incomplete.
My bad. That was Lubin in the backfield, not Okoko. They definitely look like carbon copies of each other.
One guy you may want to watch for, too, number 39, Tristan Kiselowski. He was a fullback with the Winnipeg Rifles. He's a big boy, also played defense, too. So if you're just tuning in to the BCFC for the very first time, it is Canadian rules, 3 downs. Henkel once again clears out the backfield. Looking to his left, Bryson Mayo gets another touch. He is dragged down, though, to the delight of the fans. Number 1, one of the returnees, Desmond Jeanson with the tackle.
Well, Desmond Jeanson is a great cover corner. He does a really good job on the outside edge here. Gives him a little bit of ground. As soon as he catches it, he's on him. 2 yards. Number 3 was in there as well. Marcel Aruda Welch to make the tackle.
So the Rebels will punt. Actually, number 81 for Westshore, and that's Will Hughes.
Oh, right out of the park.
And kind of pooch that one a bit, and that'll give the Huskers some great field position. All the way, the referee now marking it at about the 40-yard line.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure. He comes out like he looks like he's going to run with it here. And he stops it, he kicks it, but almost directly out of bounds and out of the park. Like it went over the fence and right out of the park. So I don't know if he wanted to run and then didn't see the hole that he thought he would have.
So there was a battle in camp for that starting quarterback position. Reed Van Houten and Logan McDonald. And it is number 15, Reed Van Houten, who gets the first touch. Played with the Kamloops Broncos last year.
Well, and you won't see this too often ever, not just this year, but I don't think ever, is that Brandon Poulin goes down for a ball here and just doesn't quite get under it. He does some of his best work while he's diving for those balls. He was just a joy to watch last year, and I'm looking forward to more of it this year.
Poulin 9th out of the top 50 in the CJFL rankings. There's a pass. Oh. That one caught pinballs around, but a nice completion as the Westshore Rebels tried to rip it out of his hands, but Nathan Stokes will not be denied.
It looked like the defensive back was offended that he caught it on him. There he is, into double coverage. Stokes goes up, grabs it, tucks it away hard. Number 6 and number 3 it is, I think. Yeah, number 3. Kieran Bendito de Barros and number 6, Roman McSilver, were covering there, but Stokes was able to bring it in and take it down.
Reed Van Houten in the gun, throws it. That one slides through the hands of the intended receiver. So both teams going pass happy to start this game off.
Well, they put some air under the ball there really fast, and you see here, it looks like he kind of gets a little, got tipped there. Okay, so Poulin was all lined up for it, and he just got a finger on the ball and knocked it a bit sideways on him.
Well, Coach Bob Reese talked about, you know what, they needed a quarterback just to manage the game. They didn't need a Julian Wittink, who was sensational, is off to the Mount Allison University this year. They just needed a guy that can control. They feel the defense is good enough that'll keep them in games more often than not.
Well, I mean, Van Kunet, I'm not very familiar with him, but so far he looks like he's got a good arm and some good reads there. Almost had it.
Good battle there between number 23 of the Westshore Rebels, Polis Coco, and the intended target, number 13, Everett Finley. And Coco, won 3 Saskatchewan High School 4A championships with the Golden Suns, former University of Regina Ram. And
wow,
it's going to be a good battle all day long between those two.
Van Kunen here seems to have a bit of skill to him. He's put the balls on target pretty well. He had a nice one there that the receiver just couldn't get around the corner to.
No, go for it. Throws it up, and it was complete. Do they have enough for the first down? It looks like they do. All the way down to the 10-yard line, but there's a flag being thrown.
Yeah, it looked like it was right down, right on the 10 there. And Poulin does a great job of catching this ball and getting spun around and picking up the first down. But the flag on the play, that's going to come back, I think, against. Yeah, it's going to come back against the Huskers, so it's going to be second and I think 10.
Somebody jumped the gun.
Yeah.
0-0. Just over 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Huskers on offense in black, taking on the Westshore Rebels in white and red. Van Houten clears out the backfield, throws it up. He's got the man open, and we've got a touchdown, Huskers!
Yeah. Brandon Poulin making up for that drop ball earlier with a nice big catch here. He made the catch to get the first down. They didn't get it because of the penalty. It moved him back. But if he had missed that, they're gonna decline the penalty, and now it's third down, and they gotta, they're out of position, right? But then he goes in the end zone here, gets the separation that he needs. Just beautiful separation here. I don't know what the defensive back was doing. Foot in the end zone, and there's the first point of the ball game.
Poulin had 5 touchdowns last year, might make a significant jump this year, and hauling in 64 passes. Puts the Huskers on the board early here in the first quarter. Now the Huskers will attempt the point after. It's number 17, Ethan Holman, who was the kicker last year for the Huskers. 10 for 10 in conversions last year, so no surprise he put that through the uprights.
Yeah. Was that the same kicker as for the Huskers last year? Yeah.
Out of Mission, Ethan Hauman.
Yeah. Yeah, he does a great job. He did a great job last year.
Doubles as the punter also, as a lot of these teams do. Averaged just under 35 yards a kick. 3 for 4 in field goals in coming in last year. So good strong leg, as Coach Bob Reese told me when we chatted last week. Well, call that the practice kick. They'll try it all over again.
Wind it back up again, boys.
That feels like more of a field goal now than a... Oh, they'll say it's good.
Yeah.
And so the Huskers up 7-0 to start this game.
We're sitting at 27 degrees.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous out today. We're sitting at 27 degrees. It's probably about 5 degrees hotter down on that turf. So you're sitting up in the low 30s there for these guys. Huskers are wearing black. Yeah, okay, the Rebels are wearing white, but it's still hot down there. Let's not waste time setting up for another extra point kick.
Tack it on, baby. Yeah. Tack it on.
Let's just go. Let's get some football going here. The wind wrestling through the airs when they're running, not when they're standing there trying to kick extra points.
Well, it's 3-0 for Westshore Rebels last time. They did have the 1 3-yard completion from Henkel to Mayo, and it looks like Mayo will be a focal point of this offense. When you got a kid that good, why wouldn't you? Where's number 4 in white and red?
Well, he's back to return the kick for sure. Well, they're moving things around a bit. Well, I guess they're going to have to do that extra point after all.
So not only are we and the teams just getting out of exhibition mode, the officials also are getting their ducks lined up in a row. So it is 6-0. I jumped the gun early on that one, much like a procedure call. And 11:34. If you're just joining us, it is Brandon Poulin with the 20-yard touchdown reception. Able to squeeze away from Malik Womack, who led the Rebels in the interceptions last year with 4. They'll do this one from the 15-yard line. Actually about the 16. Motion again. Everybody moving like a conga line. So now where will the chains fall this time? It's like a Sherlock Holmes mystery.
Well, if we 5 more yards back, you're kicking that from 20.
Well, the good news is it allows some of these fans getting in here a little bit late to get settled in, get some concession, get ready for a great football game. The home team up 6-0.
That might be a half-field shot here coming up pretty quick. They keep moving back 5 yards at a time.
Get a chance to see some exciting players on the defensive side for the Huskers coming up. I said Isaiah Latonder, member of Team Manitoba. He wears number 95. He was a 2-time lineman of the year for Kelvin Clippers out of Winnipeg. Highly recruited. One thing the Huskers talked about, I mean, it was, 5 plays plus the penalty, but talked about the offensive line they felt had been rebuilt a little bit.
Yes.
Meyer, Brighton, Quietek. Do you agree with that? It was early on, but it didn't look like a lot of heat on Van Newton.
Well, and that's the one thing that we haven't seen here with the Huskers over the years is the quarterback getting time to make plays. I mean, 2 years ago when we had, what was his name? Falconer.
Yes, Noah Falconer.
He had to throw the ball. He didn't have the 3 seconds that a quarterback needs. So, the rule in football is you give your quarterback 3 seconds. No.
He had a second with no running back really behind him either.
Yeah. I mean, the last year that he was here, he had Keegan Vicklin, who got hurt in the first game. And it looked like he was going to tear it up, gets hurt in the first game, and, they're piecing people in. They had some good players, but, it wasn't a starting running back.
I understand Vicklin apparently signed with the Langley Rams in the offseason, so just heading down the road, they will play the VI Raiders a little later today.
I think it's at 5 today, is it? Or
that'll be another good one, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the defending champs. All the teams vying this year, too, because the BCFC hosts the Canadian Championship.
Well, and that's the huge part. Oh, well, they had to re-kick the extra point, and they moved back 10 yards here to kick the ball.
Ethan Holman now will kick it off from the 35-yard line. Should be excellent field position. Number 23, Polis Coco. Also, Bryson Mayo back to receive for the Westshore Rebels. Nice line drive, kind of stalls up around the 30-yard line, and that's where Coco gets underway. Slips around one set of defenders, stops, still on his feet. Polis Coco with a fabulous run back. Stiff arm. Coco running down the sideline. He's got a train in front of him. Flag flies.
Yeah.
Coco still on his feet. Dragged down at about the 4-yard line, but will it come back?
Yeah, that's definitely going to come back. One of the defenders who was in pursuit got blasted at the 40-yard line, and so that's going to be an illegal block. Come back, and they'll go back, I think, 10, maybe 15 yards from there. So here we go. A nice big hit kick here, and Coco kind of fumbles it a little bit to start off with, then he picks it up, and he takes off to his left. He's coming up the field, closes up, going to his left, and 28, who is Andrew Locke, gets a hold of him, but can't bring him down. And Coco doesn't, his knee never actually touched the ground, so he gets out there and starts burning up the sideline. And then he gets in a group of red shirts here, red and white shirts, and nobody can lay a hand on him until finally someone says enough is enough and wraps up both legs and takes him down. And that's number 20, Max Craig, who is able to wrap up those legs.
What a great stiff arm, too, that it opened up, showing that speed, athleticism, and then some power to match with it, too.
Yeah.
A 50-yard penalty, we've been told, because that was a touchdown, or just shy of a touchdown.
It's a 15-yard penalty because it's 15 yards from the spot of the foul, but it's 50 yards from where he would have been down and brought the ball back 50 yards.
Hand off to Lubin, who will run right up the seam, pick up a couple of hard yards.
Wow, Lubin runs hard. He hits the first body here, who's number 31, Jacob Dodd. Big, strong tackler, and knocks him over and able to fall forward 3 yards to move that ball a bit more.
They'll be generous and give him the spot at about 4 yards, so 2nd and 6 for Henkel and company. Pitch out to Lubin, looking for some room. Not enough for the first down, picked up about another 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Jeanson with the tackle.
And Lubin here comes around the outside, gets a little pitch out, tucks it away, and just drops that shoulder. Jeanson holds on to those legs. Great job of tackling and holding on. And there's Dodd coming across the field to get in on the tackle.
Last minute substitution there for the Huskers as Kai Somerville, 56, makes his way in. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, Kai Somerville, he's a big boy. He's going to get some pressure back there really fast.
Henkel under center, charges ahead. Looking for the first down. He's a big boy. I believe they listed him at 6'3". We may have a measurement.
Yeah, where the ref's standing right now, they're on the west side of the 45-yard line, and I think they had to get on the Husker side of the 45.
A little bit of intrigue and drama to start this game. First with the kicking mysteries, and now a measurement on 3rd down. And the Huskers stole them.
I can measure it. Henkel comes out there, and he's like, I think we're really close, Mr. Referee, and the referee's like, nope, we're going the other way.
Well, we talked about the Huskers defense and the Westshore defense both looking very good coming into the season, and Huskers with a big stand there, and they'll bring the offense back on the field. Reed Van Newton and company. Brandon Poulin's been targeted a number of times already. It's going to be a battle in the air between him and Bryson Mayo.
I think
Who
so.
can get more yards, I think, at the end of this one.
I think so. Well, and they've
Van Newton over the middle, looking for number 5 of the Huskers. That's Ethan Diakow, the University of Manitoba import.
Well, Diakow comes over the middle here. It's a great job, and Kutin just on a laser right into him, and it bounces off his hand. Just doesn't quite get a hold of it.
Now, was that, do you think, because the pass was a little behind him, or just a little too hard, maybe?
A bit of both. They'll call him A, they'll call him B there. It came in like a rocket, but it was also back at his elbow on his body. If it was out in front of him, I think he had a better chance on it.
The Rebels will show 3 up front. 3 receiver set, handoff though, and a nice hole opens up. Pushing ahead up to the 50-yard line on the running play.
Remy Shivo there takes off for a run. I think he might have gotten quicker from last year. I mean, Remy was just a revelation last year with his speed and his cuts, but here he comes, just bursts, almost gets tripped up there, and runs into triple coverage and is just hauled to the ground. Picked up about 5 yards.
Well, they talked about last year he didn't have much success running because he didn't run very much. He was very good through the air, though, very good in special teams.
His speed is unbelievable. That's what I love about Remy is he can turn it on. His change of pace keeps you guessing. It's just unbelievable.
This one's trouble. Holman brought down. Might be a face mask though at the end, and we'll see what happens here.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna call that one face mask. It kind of looked like he grabbed the top of the helmet, and that's not a penalty. It's not safe, but I don't think he got a hold of face mask. We got the magical replay, so we'll be able to see this better.
So Holman with the
that's great. My bad. I was wrong.
That's putting the ring nose in the cow right there.
Yeah, no, he poked him in the eye. It looks like.
So then they'll wave it off.
All right, now I feel really bad but they don't have replay. The referees don't have access to the replay that we can see there. But he definitely, from this angle, it looked like he came over and caught the cage. In full speed, it looked like he just grabbed the top of the helmet, but you can see here on the replay, he grabs the top of the cage.
So Remy Shivo tried to plead the case. Nothing doing. Westshore, their best field position of the day. Ball at the 36-yard line. Three straight running plays in their last offensive set. And they'll keep that train rolling with a new running back this time. And dump down quickly number 26, Terrell Belanger, the former Raider.
Yeah, great defensive play here. Belanger tries to come around the outside edge, and the defender just comes down and takes his feet out from underneath him. Textbook defense from Jeanson once more.
Over 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 lead Huskers. Rebels with the ball in white and red. Kobe Henkel, the new quarterback, in the gun. One in the backfield instead. He'll look right. He's got the man open. That one a catch by Nathan Filito, the returning receiver. And that should be enough. First down.
Yeah, definitely a first down here. Great job by Henkel. Sees Filito on the out. He's got good separation from the defender. Just drops it in there. Past the first down marker. Filito brings it in. Steps out of bounds.
They will mark that at the 24. That's exactly what they needed for the first down. So pickup of 8 on the play. Henkel fakes the handoff. Throws it ahead, and Filito couldn't snare that one. Good defense there by the Huskers. Number 31 on the play, and that was Jacob Dodd.
Yeah, Jacob does a good job of getting his arm in here. Beautiful pass by Henkel over the middle to Filito, but Dodd gets his hand in there and rips it out. He does an excellent job putting that ball on the ground and not letting the Rebels.
2nd and 10, the ball just shy of the 24-yard line. And if you are a football fan, you look at the coaching rosters of both of these sides, the staff that Coach Shane Beatty and the Rebels have put together, and then the staff that Coach Bob Reist has put together for the Huskers, and it's going to be a chess match all game. Pass out wide, and that one caught. Defense thought they had him, slipped through, flag flies.
Well, number 81, Will Hughes, catches his ball and does a great job of breaking out of the first set of tackles. But I'm wondering what this flag here is for.
See the replay
Illegal
now.
block. So he catches the ball, turns and takes off. Oh, and right there, one of the Huskers was coming in to do a tackle and got hit from behind, pushed right out of the way.
Unfortunate because it was a nice athletic play by the Westshore Rebels, number 81, Will Hughes. Coach J.C. Boyce, who they call the quarterback whisperer of junior football, said some amazing things to say about Kobe Henkel. Just his arm strength and his awareness. Clears out the backfield now, looks over the middle's got the man. Slips around one tackler, still on his feet. Rounding the edge, number 4, Bryson Mayo with a big pickup.
Well,
does he have enough for the first down?
You say this kid was the MVP of the league or the offensive player of the league 2 years ago. And he's showing it right here. Catches the ball, outruns a tackle there, high stepping, jumps over another tackle there, keeps his balance, is stumbling along, gets turned up the field, fights for enough yardage for the first down. Beautiful job by Mayo.
Pick of about 12 on the play, and that'll be first down, Westshore. Threatening in the red zone now, the team in red. Had so much success a few years ago and then took the step back, and of course with the coach Kardalikia and then some of the players getting suspended in that game against the Raiders and kind of went downfield from there. And of course the Huskers beat them twice in a row last year, and one of them quite handily on the road, 52-38.
Yeah, there was a tight one here at home. I remember that game was excellent. I mean, it was 23-19 in the end when they went on the road against them, and it was just they had their way with them. I think that was just after all the problems happened, though.
I believe it was immediately after. They started out the year with a big win over the Kamloops Broncos, and then they had a tie and couldn't quite seem to find their footing, but they are gunning for bear now. Apparently they've been in the weight room since December, basically, with a core of 30 or 35 of them, trying to get that chemistry and cohesion going. And you add pieces like Henkel and Mayo and some of the defensive pieces they've added, and I guarantee you they won't finish 3-6-1 this year.
Well, and there you go. I mean, this is one of the things that you're saying is that he blew it up. Coach Shane Beatty blows it up from last year and brings in all recruits hard, gets all these pieces in. You need time for these pieces to mesh. And by getting them there in October and working out in the weight room and spending time together, and you start to develop some chemistry that you can't do just by coming in March, April type thing.
3 receivers to the right, being pursued, and he's down, and it's a sack for the Huskers. So the defense answers.
Number 31, Jacob Dodd, comes off the edge here really quick, unblocked, throws his hand up like he's going to make the tackle, but he pulls Henkel just enough that he falls down. And it's I'm trying to get another number there.
It's number 9, Brennan Desjardins, that was also in there.
Was he? Yeah.
Lots of new names and new faces on both sides of the ball. It'll be Henkel now. Second and long. Looking long.
Oh.
Flag flies. Was that roughing the passer? And I see a helmet fly.
One of the Husker players is walking around without a helmet out there. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was roughing the rusher.
Yeah. I don't think there was a hit afterwards, but yeah, he comes up, he grabs it, he just hands to the face. It's going to be, but you got to catch this ball. Number 84, Chase Hennessy here, sits down on a ball, and I don't know if he started turning a little bit too quick there, but it just bounced off his chest plate and all gone.
We've seen it on both sides where the receivers can hear those thundering footsteps, and they haven't been able to. It's probably the 4th drop. On a well-thrown ball by these quarterbacks on both sides.
Well, the penalty is going to be hands to the face or face mask, because you got a hold of the face mask and pushed the helmet right up off the guy's head, so you can't be doing that.
So it is about 3rd and 32. I'm not sure what the leg strength of their kicker is for the Westshore Rebels. They came into camp. They have Kyle Clark listed as their kicker.
They're on the 35, and they get a first down on the 3. So
they're going for it.
Now you might as well.
Colby Henkel clears things out. Looking to his left. Defense now hounding him. He can hear the footsteps coming, overthrows his man, and the Huskers will make another stand on the defensive side and have the ball midway through their own zone.
They did a great job here of getting the pressure on him, and nobody clears up for him. You look down the field, and he's trying to yell at people to get open because no one's getting open. He has to roll out to his right here. And he looks and he's pointing, come on, get down there. And he's got some big bodies running downfield at him. And finally he just dumps it out of bounds. Couldn't do anything with that.
Henkel 3 for 7 so far today, so Huskers defense has done a nice job of limiting the gains. The biggest gain, in fact, of the day for them so far has been the 12-yard pickup that Bryson Mayo had. Van Newton with the handoff.
Oh.
Great defensive read there by the Rebels. The big man, number 9, Leonard Ingram.
Remy Chivo here, he gets no room to run whatsoever. And it's the defense coming flying in off the edge and around the corner so quickly. And it's big number 9, Ingram, that is able to wrap him up and just roll him down. I think they're going to have to stick with throwing a bit here because they're not getting a lot of room to run out there.
Ingram, 21 tackles last year for one of the returning Rebels. Van Newton feels the heat, spins off one tackle, lops that one out of bounds. A smart play by the second-year junior player. And that one will go incomplete, and it will be a punting situation for the Huskers. But a nice job to escape what would have been a sack.
Yep.
Roll out and then throw it where nobody but the coaching staff on the other bench is going to catch it.
Well, it hits the lockup box over there and bounces up over the fence. That's 2 over there in the park now. He rolls out here, just gets away from the tackler, and dumps it out of bounds.
It's amazing with the fine offensive weapons there are on both sides, just how good these defenses have been because they have stalled some guys that are showtime, like Poulin, like Mayo.
Yep.
Done a fabulous job of that.
Well, and I try to explain this to the young guys that I coach, is that it's not always about making the pick or even touching the ball, but just getting your hand in this field of vision so he can't see it and make a play on it.
Holman with a soaring kick. Bryson Mayo jukes one way, and then he's stuffed like a turkey down shy of the 40-yard line.
This was fabulous punt coverage right here. I love this because you watch the two guys here. So big kick here by Holman, gets the ball down the field. And you see the two defenders come in. They've got him cornered. He can't go out to either side. And then the other guy's down low, and they just surround him. They got him surrounded. You ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, he had Brock Cote kind of faked for a minute, and then Brock was the one that came in and put the finishing tackle on. So the Rebels from their own 39-yard line, trailing 7-0, 3:20 remaining here in the first quarter. Big hello to all of you watching here on BCFC TV. One of 3 games, early movement on the line. Procedure for the Rebels, and that'll back the ball up. And Coach Beattie likes an aggressive team, but he likes a disciplined team, and I don't think he'll be happy with what he's seen here in this first quarter.
Well, they've had quite a few penalties. I mean, their drive down here, they got the ball off that failed punt. It's frustrating. I mean, 50 yards on that kickback return that they got down to the 5-yard line, comes back to the 55-yard line.
Angle from the 34, steps back, throws it, intercepted! Desmond Jeanson all the way down the sideline before he's tackled by Henkel, and I think the face mask will be tacked on.
Wow, there's a penalty, but it's back here, and I think it's going to be against the defensive line, so this is going to be declined the other way you look at it. They didn't see a flag on the far side, so here we go.
I saw a player, the receiver, either slipped or was pushed right there all down the ground, Bryson Mayo.
Yeah. And there goes Jeanson.
Some nice long strides, and Henkel, boy.
No
didn't look like a face mask there, no.
No, front of the jersey. The flag was thrown on one of the defensive linemen back here. Him and the offensive lineman were battling, and I think frustration got the better of him.
So it was a face mask, just they're on the wrong team.
All right.
So I'll move the ball up to about the 35-yard line.
And Coach Reese is hot there. Coach Reese is hot. He's not understanding why. But they get to keep the ball, the face mask, after the fact. Not sure how that works.
And I have you to explain these rules for me, Matt.
I'm not sure how that one works. I mean, I guess it was after the interception that the face mask, the penalty was thrown on the face mask.
All right.
So it's being added after the fact. But it was way behind the play, so.
So Henkel 4 for 8. The Huskers, Van Newton throws that one into the turf. That one incomplete. Bring up second down. If you're the Huskers, I think you really got to try to capitalize on some of these plays because Westshore will not be silent all game long.
Yeah, definitely.
Ball sitting at the 25-yard line. Huskers up by 7. Desmond Jeanson interception. Put them in great field position here is Reed Van Newton, whose dad was an offensive lineman for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for 11 years. Clears out the backfield now and looks to go to the air. Launches that up. He's got the man open, and it was just out of his fingertips. He played some air harp, and he couldn't snare it in.
Diakow here, he's frustrated because I don't think he was running as hard as he could, and then he sees the ball coming, he takes off, but it just misses his. So close, close.
It was a well-placed ball because nobody else was getting that except for Diakow.
It was a great throw. I think Diakow was covered enough that he didn't think that he was going to get it. So,
the former Oak Park High Raider, one of the powerhouse teams in Winnipeg, spent some time with the University of Manitoba. Caught 3 passes for 53 yards last year for them as Holman will set things up, and this field goal will be from 31 yards. A kick is up, and the kick is good. Well, you know what? 7 points, 3 points. You just want to get those points on the board. As we are nearing the end of the first quarter, 2 minutes, 9 seconds to go.
Well, and that's the thing. You've got a team that's head coached by Shane Beatty, and the offensive coordinator is J.C. Boyce. You're not going to shut them down the whole game. Get your points when you can. Get them on the board. And that was a great call by Coach Reese to kick those 3. A great kick by Howman to put those points up on the board.
Good crowd here, as you see, in attendance, taking in the BCFC and actually the CJFL opening game. By the way, if you're a fan of the CJFL or you want to learn a little bit more, great podcast I discovered in the offseason. It's called Dieter's CJFL podcast, and very opinionated. You might not agree with his opinions, but you'll certainly like to listen. Great guests. He had Henkel and Mayo on. There's a pooch kick. Looking for the onside.
Oh, he got lit.
Absolutely popped by the freight train wearing 42, Cordell Holder.
Well, it's number 26, Shane Claridge, is wondering what, did maybe get the number of that Mack truck that hit him, but a great job here. I think Jeanson might have been offside, but wow, just drops the shoulder and lays him out. Yeah, Jeanson was offside by a step.
It's a costly penalty for the Huskers as they would have had momentum going into the end of the first quarter.
Yeah. Wow, what a shoulder by number 42, Cordell Holder.
Always nice to see the new faces on the sideline, too, and it looks like we won't forget Marcel Arruda Welch, not just for what he does on the field, but you see the kind of reddish hair also. He's got the great mop on top.
Yeah.
And he is, as Coach Bob Reese said, he is a 3-zone athlete. He's good on offense, he's good on defense, he's good on special teams.
Well, you love having that kind of talent on your team. That kind of hair there, you show he's got some character, too. He likes pushing the limits. I like him. One of the big linemen there, number 14, is it? Is that it? Yeah, Tyrese Vinner-Cox. It looks like they have the same hairdresser.
Well, and they both make a big impact on the field also. As the ball is kicked down to Bryson Mayo all the way down at his own 5-yard line. Slips through a tackle before he's tripped up with the shoestrings. Mayo will be just shy of the 30-yard line. Looks like they'll give him the generous spot, and that is where the Westshore Rebels will get underway from their own 30.
I was kind of half expecting Coach Reese to call for another onside kick there because I don't like kicking it down that way. You got Mayo and you got Lubin. Is that Lubin? Coco. These guys are insane. I don't want to give the ball to either of them.
Third time in 5 possessions that the Westshore Rebels will start inside their own 40. Henkel throws that into the turf, looking for number 84 coming over the middle. That's Chase Hennessy, but that one's shy, and so
Hennessy's turns around and goes, "Hey, he was holding me." It's Aruda Welch there covering, but it doesn't look like he grabbed a hold of anything to me from here.
So Henkel 3 for 9 by my count with the 1 interception so far. So not the start I'm sure he envisioned in the offseason, but he's a quality quarterback, and he will put it together in this game. One the backfield, receivers in motion. 3 to the left side, goes to the right. Overthrew his man, the intended target, Nathan Felito. Barring a trick play, it'll be a 3 and out for the Westshore Rebels.
The defense is getting some really good pressure on him, and he's trying to make these plays, but he's just a half step out of time with his receivers. And you can see here it's just about 5 yards too far in front of number 1, Felito.
They've got a trio of outstanding defensive backs / cornerbacks. You look at Keenan Onabuchi, the former Winnipeg Rifle. You look at Marcel Aruda Welch, who we talked about, and then the returnee Desmond Jeanson. That's 3 guys that can lock down most receivers.
Well, and they get a little bit of contact where they're allowed to, and they just stay on the body, and they do a really good job of it.
Looked like one of those Aussie rules punts as he ran with it for a while and then kicked it, and the ball out of bounds at about the 32, 33-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 35. Getting old, I guess I need my glasses.
That seems about right. I don't know if that's the only way he can punt or if this is just his way of doing it. But he's got some good, this time here he got some good distance on that kick.
The Reed Van Duten has done a decent job of managing this offense. They do have the 1 touchdown. They've also got a field goal.
Yep.
They lead 10-0, 1 minute remaining here, and as the clock continues to tick. In the first quarter, and screen pass from the backfield. He just lost his own footing as Poulin saw daylight, and then the train came and closed the cave.
He broke everybody's ankles, including his own on this one here. Drops it out to Poulin, and Poulin catches it and takes off. He's got such speed. He does great cuts here. And, that one too many cuts, and his feet are out from underneath him.
Reed Van Duten 3 for 9, so his number's not much better than Henkel. So the defenses both have been outstanding here early on.
And we knew that was going to be the case. We knew it was going to be a defensive battle.
A nice pass there, and to the tune of Def Leppard's Poulin, Poulin snares that in. Back-to-back catches for Poulin and a big 6-yard pickup. And first down, Huskers. The ball will move ahead up to the 45-yard line.
Great job here. And then you got McKinnon and I think it's number 5. Yeah, number 5, who is Womack, come in there and just took him out of bounds hard.
Huskers have only attempted 2 rushes so far in the game, and they were back-to-back to Remy Chevo. They'll fake it there. He gets popped down as he made a nice block. Poulin looking for the overhand catch and a late flag, and discipline once again coming to rear its ugly head on the Westshore Rebels, and the coaching staff won't be pleased with that.
Well, you know what? They're getting this out of every level of football. It's that hitting the unsuspecting receiver here and come in, led with the shoulder, got his head.
Carlton Aboti, the penalized member of the Rebels.
Yeah, that was definitely an unnecessary roughness right there.
That moves the ball all the way inside the Westshore half up to the 50-yard line.
Yep. And it gives them another first down. A costly penalty, that's for sure. And you're right, Coach Shane Beatty isn't going to isn't going to be too happy with that. I bet you know they're going to hear about these penalties.
Barring another penalty, this will be the last play of the first quarter. 10-0 Huskers. Van Newton, handoff. Great read by the defense. Storming in there once again, number 9, Leonard Ingram will stall that train in its tracks.
Ingram does a great job here, powering through his guys, getting down low. He was being taken down. He was down on his knees and drops his shoulder into Teshivo's knees and takes him out.
So no gain on the play. Remy sitting 3 carries.
We got another penalty here.
3 yards.
Unnecessary roughness on Westshore, so it's going to move 15 yards up the field.
And you just see the body language of Leonard Ingram, who kind of dropped his shoulders talking to the referee.
I'm guessing the penalty might be on him, maybe the low hit. I can't see that.
So Huskers maintain possession, and, well, there was a penalty, so this once again will be the last play of the first quarter. Still a 10-0 lead, Huskers. You have to wonder, will they go deep here? Maybe one last big shot, try to catch them napping.
You got the whole second quarter. I mean, you could. It's a first down. You're down in the 35-yard line area. You could, but I think they're gonna just stick to their game plan and run a play.
Whistle blows. It's not been the most free-flowing of games to start. You got the penalties and, of course, the kicking mysteries early on, but it has been entertaining nonetheless.
Game one's never as smooth as you'd like it to be as you draw it up in the weight room. Let me tell you, but
flags flying like outside the UN building. Third straight penalty here. And this time it's the Huskers who take 2 steps forward and 1 back, a little cha-cha, I think. Is that the dance, the 2 and 1?
Yeah.
Not known for my dancing prowess on the floor. It's Warren Andrews along with Matt Macri, the cast of VBN Sports. Proud to bring you Huskers versus Rebels here, opening day. Beautiful exhibition stadium. It was 27 degrees with a very soft breeze blowing. Picturesque, and the wind blowing from the Westshore side. It's Newton now airs it up. Got the man, could not bring it in. The referee there had eyes on the play and waves off the PI, and that'll be last play of the first quarter. It's Exhibition Field. I think I said stadium. I apologize for that.
Yeah. That's at Abbotsford. They got the Agri-Fair going there right now. No, there's a good job here of laying the ball out there for that receiver, but a great defensive play to keep the body in between the receiver and the ball, and just keep the hand going. Doing a little hand fighting. Ref's going to let that go. So as long as you're not tugging any shirt, you're good.
There have been some great battles with these fine defensive backs and some very good receivers on both sides. It's been tough to haul those in.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
The Huskers ask for a quick water break as they get things set up to start the second quarter.
Well, they're out there getting the refs some water, too, which is good because it's warm out there.
So the question of the day is, if you're looking at 3 phases of both teams, which one phase has been the most dominant for either team so far after one quarter?
Well, I think both teams have really flexed their defenses. I liked what Westshore did with the run back on the one kick there on the punt or the kickoff. What was it? Coco ran that huge one back with a bad penalty, brings the ball back, but that was a great run. Neither offense has really been stellar, but both of them have been okay.
Now, is that the offense's fault, or is it just that there's some really good guys on that defensive line, and then of course the cornerbacks and defensive backs shutting down the receiver routes?
Well, the defensive lines on both teams are doing okay. They're doing good. But it's not pressure on the quarterback. It's the receivers and the quarterbacks just being a bit out of sync. And that's something you fine-tune throughout the course of the season. And they're going to look at this a lot.
That's a hold on the Huskers. That would have come back anyway as Van Newton threw it to the air. Once again, look at that pressure from number 9, Leonard Ingram, who's been very dominant here late in the first quarter, early into the second quarter.
Yeah, you watch this here. Oh.
Trust us on it.
Trust us, it was really good.
Kind of overthrew his man a bit, but the hold was there anyway. That's the reason he had the extra second to get rid of the ball.
The height of the receiver. Here we go. So, yeah, you get the hold there. So you get the penalty. The height of the receiver goes up here and just off the tips of his hands. I mean, if he came down with it, he was getting lit up when he landed, but it was close.
Ben Purick, number 40, was the man trying to get to the quarterback before he was impeded. So it remains 10-0 Huskers. Played 13 seconds here of this second quarter. Go ahead, Matt.
Westshore's wisely going to decline that penalty and makes it 3rd and 14. So there's no necessity there to add another 5 yards on or 10 yards onto that and give them a second down where they could make a big play. So they're going to force a punt here.
Well, we'll see how Ethan Hallman's accuracy is because, he'd love to pin them down inside the 5-yard line. Oh, thought they were doing a watch play. And Westshore will snag that up. Looked like it was kind of discombobulated on both ends. Ball shy of the 30-yard line. They will mark it at about the 26-yard line for Westshore, where they'll get things going.
Well, did they make it to Howman? And I think they're trying to do an onside kick here.
I wasn't sure exactly what they were attempting.
Just bobbling all over the place.
The guy punting it was going to try to run under it and get it himself. Yeah. I know he's allowed to, but
not sure.
10-0. Huskers in front here at Exhibition Field. Chilliwack, the mountains and the skyline, the breeze blowing. Good-sized crowd in attendance, loving this. And Westshore will get underway from their own 26-yard line. Henkel clears out Lubin from the backfield now. Fakes the handoff, gets some pressure, and he is dropped. The hat trick of defenders in to swarm him. Second sack of the day for the Huskers.
Well, I saw Dodd in there. I saw Latander in there. Who's number 3? I didn't catch the third number. But Dodd's been in there twice now for 2 sacks already. And then Latander is the big man that comes flying in. Oh, at number 52, James Moore. All 3 of them converge to make a really, really rough play for Henkel. 31.
So the ball moved back to the 21-yard line. Loss of 4 on the play. Throws it over the middle on that one. Almost a second interception for Desmond Jeanson, who's feeling some fire in his britches.
Yeah, he's going to watch that one back and be like, I could have had that. Jeanson here gets his hands up on the ball right away. Does a really good job, and it's a little one-on-one. Polito there can't get to it. Jeanson just about makes it to it. Not quite.
There'll be a deep punt here for the Westshore Rebels. 13-24 remaining here in the second quarter. 10-0 lead Huskers. Great to have you along. You can tweet us anytime. I'm at @some_sports guy. Of course, you can tweet the VBN crew also on Twitter. We're also on Facebook. Here's a punt, and that one, high, soaring kick into the hands of Brandon Poulin. Fields it at his own 40. Tries to straddle a tightrope down the sidelines. Good field position, though, for the Huskers again.
But there's a nice big boot here. Once again, he does the rollout kick. And then, but gets a great big boot on it here. And this one stays in bounds. So Poulin's able to make a play on this and come flying up the sideline. He sees he doesn't have anything inside, so he just takes that sideline, takes the edge, takes what's there, steps out of bounds. Don't take the big hit. Hit a wall of white right there in front of him as he stepped out of bounds, too. That could have hurt.
So the ball at the Huskers' 51-yard line. Plenty of time left here in the second quarter. 5 receivers set. Jovo up to block. Throws that one low out of the reach of Brandon Poulin. You think that as the season rolls along, those two will develop their chemistry a little bit better.
We got to hope so, because here he needs to get this ball. And it got tipped at the line. I understand that. But Poulin's wide open. He sits down on those balls well. I think they're going to get kind of mash a bit.
They'll bring up 2nd and 10. Jovo once again, the lone back. Moves up to block. Under pursuit. Van Newton now will hold on to it himself, gets a nice block, and then goes down and gets popped after a pickup of about 3 on the play.
Well, I love this. He's running through here, and he knows he's some big boys coming after him, so he's trying not to get crushed. And he does a little loop, and he loops back, gets a big block there, gets another block there, and then just number 17.
There was no
Tanner
block.
Hayward is waiting for him right there. And Tanner, he lays the hits when he can.
So this war of attrition continues as the defenses have put on their work boots. And they have come out to make things difficult for both offensive teams as Bryson Mayo, and that one almost blocked. Rolling ball stalls up just before the 20-yard line where Mayo picks it up, and then he is driven down.
Well, he was able to smash through the first couple, but it was number 92, Raja Sandhu, that wraps him up and tears him to the ground here. A nice big kick again. It's the ball down the field, and there's Mayo to make the play on it. Picks it up, takes off running, tries to cut back because there's just nowhere to go. Really good job by this Husker special team of cutting. The outside guys are containing and forcing the runner back in the middle, not giving them that outside edge. I say it all the time with coaching. You get to ball depth and then come in, and these guys are doing it perfectly.
Defense has been good for the Huskers. It's scary to think they could be better next week when David Steves makes his way in, a 4-time All-American at a Christian university in the United States. He is a beast and a game changer, what Bob Reese says. He's going to go long, looking for his man, and twisting and turning. Number 21, Jeffrey Ojong, could not get open. That pass incomplete.
Ojong just can't seem to pick up the ball here. He looked over his right shoulder, he can't see it, and there it drops right in front of him. He looked over his left, looked over his right, and he couldn't see it, and the ball ended up dropping right in front of him.
I thought the defender did a nice job, too, of staying inside and containing him.
Yeah, he did. He did a really good job, not giving him any room to get that separation that he wanted.
So Henkel went to the air. He's got number 27, Zachary Lubin, as the back. 4 receivers to the right side. That's cleared out. And now he'll have to scramble to get away, and he won't. He's brought down. 3rd sack of the day for the Huskers. This time it's number 56, Kai Somerville.
Kai's excited about this. Kai's a good local boy from the Chilliwack, played with the Chilliwack Giants growing up, and he does a great job of just coming through there hard, getting a hold of the back of the jersey and dragging him down to the ground. He's pretty happy with himself.
I mean, you can be the best quarterback on the planet. Mike Riley's a good example of that, but if you don't have the boys holding up those large defensive linemen from reaching you, it's a tough time throwing anywhere.
Well, and here's the thing is they're getting the body on the big boys, like big number 14 and big number 95. They're getting a body or two on there, but that leaves the guy unblocked. And he's coming in, and there's a souvenir for a fan.
This is junior football. That will be thrown right back to the team. Thank you.
Yeah.
That one kicked out of bounds near the grandstands, and some great field position for the Huskers.
Yeah.
9.5 minutes remaining, plus a little change. They can feel pretty good about themselves if they can capitalize here on this play.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can put some more points on the board, they can breathe easy going in the half. The defense has done their job. The offense has put some points on the board. Special teams are doing a good job. I think the Huskers are playing a complete game today.
What a difference, Matt. We started doing these games, 3 years ago?
Yep.
And during that time, the offensive lineman would also be the defensive lineman. You had so many guys playing 2 positions, and they were gassed by the end of the game. But now, with what a great job Bob Reese and company have done, of recruiting, and now you've got extra bodies out there, and good bodies.
Yeah, so there's 2 years in a row that I did the games where they didn't win a game, and there was a lot of times we're wondering if they're going to get a touchdown. And we came into last year thinking, is it going to be the same where it's at halftime, the game's pretty much over, and you're just trying to think of nice things to say for the second half of the game. And that first game last year reset the tone of how people look at the Huskers. And the Huskers bought into it. They bought into Coach Reese and his message, and they've just taken it to the next level. Very impressed.
Ingram gets rewarded for all the hard work he's done on the defensive line of the Westshore Rebels as he records the sack. Kind of a miscommunication between Reed Van Newton and Remy Chauveau. Is now some pressure, back-to-back sacks. And this time it's number 8 that comes in, Byron McKinnon. I think he's in the top 20 of the CJFL player rankings coming into the season. And so the defense may be hearing us singing the praises of the Huskers and said, hey, we got some ballers on our end too.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, Ingram there, he's been working hard all day, gets a sack, and then now the defense on both teams have been excellent. I mean, they really have been. They kept the Huskers to 10 points. The Huskers have given them a goose egg. I mean, they've both done their jobs very, very well. And it's going to go back and forth here. This is fun.
McKinnon was second in tackles for the Rebels last year with 32. Also had the fumble recovery. So a good core return for the Rebels, and they added those big pieces, but at the moment it is 10-0. Huskers. Hallman will just float that one up high, and that'll go out around the 30-yard line. Good job by the Westshore defense of making a stand and giving their offense another chance to respond.
Yeah, really good job. But now the Westshore offense has to get going. They have to get something going here. They don't want to give up the ball again at this end of the field and tempt the Huskers to try and get a score. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Is first and 10 for the Rebels, 31-yard line, as you heard announcer Tim Amy revving up the crowd, asked who's here for the Rebels, and a good crowd cheering for them, and they said here's there for the Huskers, and it's like a rock concert.
I pulled up 20 minutes before the game, and I couldn't park in the front row. I mean, I don't know. The stands are packed here.
It's amazing what winning can do, is it not?
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
You get the little bit of the buzz, and then they actually show up to the games, and then they see this is pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I think the wins over Okanagan and the Raiders last year really made some waves in this town.
I think so, too. I mean, it really showed that this team is serious, and they're serious about not just putting points on the board, but being a competitive team in this league.
Lubin with the run up to the 41 or 42-yard line, and that's a pickup of 12 and a first down.
Well, and here's the thing is that, they say that O-line might be the Achilles heel, but they've been working against this D-line all day. They've done a really good job of not giving up too much, and now they're starting to punch some holes open.
Henkel fakes the handoff, throws it over the middle. He's got the man open. Felito. Flag flies in the backfield where the quarterback was. You have to wonder if it's roughing the passer. Another flag flies there, and so this could be a huge pickup for the Westshore Rebels after that pass completion.
Wow, yeah, you got 2 flags on the ground here. So there's the fake handoff. He drops the ball down, and then he gets hit. Catch by Felito. He takes off up the field and gets brought down by Jeanson, and a little check there by Onibuchi. But I didn't see what happened after the fact.
It is a 22-yard pickup just on its own without the penalties that are about to be incurred. Are they offsetting?
I think they're both against the Huskers.
I thought I saw one penalty assessed. So roughing the passer, objectionable conduct, and the mistake the Huskers are making, they did it a lot closer to halftime where Bob Reese will have a good memory. So that'll move the ball all the way to the 30-yard line. Some great field position for the Westshore Rebels.
I think the offset was only 5-yard pickup for the Rebels. The roughing the pass would have been 15. Objectionable conduct's only 10.
So perhaps Westshore Rebels getting their mojo back as Henkel remains with Lubin. 4 receivers to the near side. Bryson Mayo all alone on the outside. Now Lubin peels out for him, but Henkel being pursued decides to hold on to it himself. Flag fly, I think that's a hold This one may be coming back, and then a helmet gets knocked off, and tempers absolutely flaring here. And number 90 for the Huskers into it with 75 of the Westshore Rebels. Aaron Rose of the Rebels against Tyson Spence. They were jawing at each other. A few extra pokes thrown at the end of the play.
Well, cooler heads need to prevail. I know it's hot down there, but you got to keep it. You got to keep it together, because the last thing you know, they're waving the stick crew downfield. So I think it's going to be. And we got a player limping off the field. 2 players limping off the field over here. Yeah, 15-yard penalty, and Jacob Dodd's coming over. He's waving his helmet. I think something happened to his helmet.
So the ball all the way down inside the red zone, put it about the 1-yard line. So the Rebels wanted a chance to get back in the game. It was put to them on a silver platter surrounded by caviar.
Yeah.
6:48, lots of time left here in the first half. Big Colby Henkel may just elect to keep it himself. He can kind of fall ahead.
He shows he can run. I mean, he doesn't. It's not the Michael Vick type speediness, but he gets the job done, and he did a great job running. Not only running, but evading some tackles and getting up the field.
We have a timeout called on the field as they bring the water out to try to refresh these guys.
I bet you Coach Boyce wants to have a chat with them and just make sure that they got the right play in mind. They got the right play on tap here. They want to get some points on the board. I mean, it'd be much better to go into. Well, it's still 6.5 minutes, but it'd be much better to be up or down 10-6 than it would be like 10-0. So
James Moore getting tended to on the trainer's stretcher out there, and fine defender last year for the Huskers.
Yeah, he did a good job. He does a good job, really good job.
Huskers will play the next home game here against the Okanagan Sun next Saturday at 7 o'clock. We'd love for you to be here in the stands at Exhibition Field. And if you can't, of course, we'll have all the action here on BCFC TV.
What do you mean if you can't? We don't have another home game until like September. Clear your schedule. It's more priorities, people.
So the Rebels threatening here. Down to the 1-yard line. The big boys up front trying to bulldoze their way through. Henkel with the pitch outside. Lubin.
Whoa.
Vaults over his man, and that'll be a touchdown, Westshore Rebels.
Great leap there by Lubin. He just gets right up in the air. The leaping Lubin. He does a fabulous job. And here it looks like Henkel's thinking about keeping it, but he sees the blitz, gives it to Lubin, and Lubin goes up and over. Lands beautifully on the flat of his back. Excellent job.
6:37 remaining. It is 10-6 extra point about to be kicked for the Westshore Rebels. And it's number 12, Isaiah Kardalickia, multi-talented athlete, the quarterback back in his minor football days.
Yep.
Good football family and all.
Yep. Quarterback, defensive back, kicker. Oh, he's holding. He's
holding. Kick is up. Kick is good. Number 47.
Kyle Clark.
Kyle Clark.
Well, that makes it a tighter game, that's for sure. I mean, the Huskers, they had an opportunity down here where they got the ball in Westshore's end. Not quite the red zone, but down in that end. They gave it up, and then they let them march with some penalties, get all the way down the field, and put some points on the board. So Coach Reese, he's got to shore this up and get these guys going back in the right direction because they've been doing it the majority of the game. One series goes poorly. Don't throw the baby out with bathwater.
Let me, that's always good advice, by the way. Let me put this in perspective. They started on their own 31 to the Westshore Rebels.
Yep.
On their own, they only got 37 yards. The rest was all in penalties. I'm no math wizard, but that's about 60 yards in penalties.
Well, 110-yard field. Take off 30. It's only about 80.
Well, it was almost 40, 37.
Yeah.
Potato. Nonetheless, it was a lot of penalties.
Yeah, it was.
Biggest play of the drive was that 22-yard catch by Filito.
Yeah, that was beauty.
Now they're switching around. We got some trickery here, and they'll boom that down deep. Fielded by the Huskers at their own 5, looking for daylight.
Yeah.
Nothing there. Nothing but white and red jerseys piling on, and the Huskers have quite a bit of field to go themselves. And a flag flies at the last second.
Yeah, a little bit rough stuff going in the inside the scrum there. But let's talk about this kick return, because this drives me nuts. Kids, do not do this on the field. If you're going to start running, do not stop running and dancing. You got to keep running forward. If there's nowhere to go, drop a shoulder and try and run through it, because here he comes. He's up the field. He's got some speed, and he stops, and he starts going back, forth. As soon as you stop, you lose all your momentum. You lose all your power. You become a target.
Surprising, too, because a fine punt and kick returner, Marcel Arruda-Welch, the All-Canada West.
Yep.
Marcel Arruda-Welch for the University of Manitoba. So the ball will be at the 11-yard line is where the Huskers will get underway. This is the deepest field position they've had to start a drive. Before that, it was their own 35-yard line. Reed Van Newton won the backfield, high snap. There's the give. Nice hole opens up. I believe that is Remy Cheveau moving ahead and very close to a first down.
If he didn't move the sticks, he's within an inch of it. That's for sure. Cheveau here does a great job. Beautiful going up and getting that ball, and Cheveau gets it, and it's almost like a draw because he went up so high. It took some time, and then the handoff and the run.
So gain of about 8, it looks like, on the play. Second and short. 5 receivers set, 3 here to the near side. Westshore shows blitz, whistle blows before they could complete it.
I think it's going to be against the Huskers too.
Procedure?
Yeah. They usually, if it's a defense, they'll let it go, but this one they blew dead right away. Procedure against the offense. Yep.
Nothing gets by the eagle eye of Matt Macri.
I tell you, it goes from 2nd and 1 or 2 to 2nd and 7 here, and it's not a good thing. You're going in the wrong direction, especially now that this Rebels defense is getting a little bit of steam underneath them too.
While they talk about the tides turning, it was Westshore penalized early on, and now it's been the Huskers. Long pass, and it's caught! And it's a one-on-one battle with Poulin. Poulin still on his feet. And he was going east to west, but it didn't matter. Out to midfield, a massive reception for Poulin.
And that's kind of big play that the Huskers had to make. He does a really good job here of just burning his guy and getting open. Catches the ball, turns upfield. When he sees it, he's cut off. He tries to come in, but he's completely cut off, so he has to keep coming in. He's getting some blocks in front of him, but just not enough, and big number 17 gets a hold of him. That's Tanner Hayward, and pulls him down to the ground.
Ball all the way to the 52-yard line.
Looks like one of the guys got stepped on down there in that scrum, and they're looking at his ankle right now.
46-yard reception for Brandon Poulin, his biggest of the day. And the Huskers can breathe a little bit easier. They've got some elbow room now. Not trapped in the throes of their own end zone. 4:47 to go here in the second quarter. Warren Andrews along with Matt Macri, VBN Sports. Proud to bring you another great edition of Huskers football here on BCFC. Whether you're watching us from out in Manitoba or down on the island cheering for your Rebels, wherever you are, thanks for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us. If you bought the package, boy, you're in for a great Saturday of football. 3 games on the BCFC slate today.
Yeah, it's going to be a good day, that's for sure.
Cheveau now bounces off one tackle. Nice job, slid ahead, some hard yards, and the Huskers keep possession.
Toshiba does a great job here. Gets the ball, does the one cut back inside, gets the defense moving to his left, and then cuts back to the right and picks up a big chunk of yards, at least 5 yards on that one. Fabulous job.
So he's at 13 yards in his last 2 carries, Remy Chevo. As you called him last year, the remedy. I like that.
The remedy. He was. They needed him, and he was the remedy.
There's a nice shot there of the hairdos you're talking about.
Yep.
Bring a little flavor to the game. They stand out more, too, when you've got black jerseys, don't they?
For sure. But it's you gotta have character, right? And it's these guys here out there. They want to make themselves stand out. They want people to see them. They want to remember your name, and I think that's a fabulous thing, especially for these young football players.
Reed Van Newton threw it up, and I believe that was Byron McKinnon got a hand on it.
Yeah, he didn't get much on that ball at all. And now they're going to punt here. They're still leading. There's 3:52 left in the half. They kick the ball deep down into the end zone there.
3-point game, opening day. Holman back to punt at about his own 40-yard line. Waiting for it, the menace wearing number 4, Bryson Mayo.
Ryan, we've seen him out there today, but he has been quiet. He hasn't really, made those big plays that we saw of him 2 years ago. I think he's just holding them in.
If you're a Huskers fan, you're a little frightened with the unknown.
Yeah. Oh, I think we got a timeout here by the Rebels.
It's been a lot of fun, though. You know what? I mean, the offense always gets all the headlines, but as they say, defense wins championship, and you're looking at 2 very good defenses here.
Well, I totally agree with you. I mean, these defenses have been on fire. They've got some playmakers that are just running around all over the place out there, making things happen. A lot of fun to watch. I'm a big defensive guy. I like watching offenses get crushed, and so this has been a great morning or afternoon for me so far. But you're still seeing enough out of special teams and offense to tell you that these teams are solid. They're the real deal, and I really like watching them.
For the defenses, the Huskers have 3 sacks and an interception. For the Rebels, they have 2 sacks on the day, so both of them getting into the stats sheet. 3:30 remaining.
Nine penalties for 64 yards so far today.
The ball punted high. Recovered, but I don't believe that'll stand. It was Marcel Aruda-Welch in his Porsche tracked that down.
He came flying down here. I'm not sure if he's an onside guy, but if he is, that's a Huskers ball, and I think he lined up behind the kicker.
The question would be, did the officials see it? If that was
they're
the
waving
case.
that off. They're waving that off. That's
So
a Huskers
Marcel
ball. I thought he was back there.
Aruda-Welch
Yep.
tracks it down.
He does a fabulous job here. And I saw him, they're making some changes during that timeout. Coach Reese throws him in there, right? And he kind of waved him back a bit. I thought he was the onside guy. And he does exactly what he needed to do. Is just got on his horse, gone, downfield. And Mayo just kind of left the ball because he was like, yep, you didn't give me my 5 yards. Well, he was the onside guy. He didn't have to.
Well, that was a wrinkle that even Oil of Olay can't solve for the Westshore Rebels. Little trickery from the Huskers. The ball on the 15-yard line, fakes the handoff, throws it up deep, overthrows his man, incomplete.
Well, he was off balance. He didn't get his feet underneath him, and he tried to put a little bit too much on the ball because he didn't think he was going to have enough. Here he does the play action, and he's kind of just not quite set enough.
If they can't punch this in, they've got to at least attempt another field goal, I think, barring any more penalties.
Yeah. Get some more points on the board. You only got 3 minutes left in the half. Get some more points on the board. It'd be lovely to be up 17-7, and it'd be just as good to be up 13-7. Wow. It'd be okay.
7th play of this drive for the Huskers with the ball on the 15-yard line. And Newton clears it out in a bad snap. And
yeah.
And I'll push it back to 30, and once again, the field goal becomes a little more challenging. 3-minute warning as you hear the referee blow the whistle, 2:44 left.
Well, Van Newton there went down kind of weird, and it looked like he tweaked his back. He's walking off looking like he's in a lot of discomfort there.
If we do see the backup, it'll be a young man you know very well, and Logan McDonald, who took Robert Bateman out of Abbotsford all the way to the finals, I believe, in high school championship.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. I saw him in the dome throwing for Bateman this year. He did a great job in the semifinals. He was just on fire. The finals, it was a little bit different. It was a little bit rougher of a game for him. But he did a fabulous job in that semifinals game.
38-yard attempt for Holman. Now Logan McDonald, the aforementioned Logan McDonald, puts it up. That kick is good. Ethan Holman, nice job by Logan McDonald to recover on the snap and put it down quickly.
Yeah.
Now it's 13-7.
Logan McDonald's a football player. He's got a good football mind. I've watched him, the way that he makes plays, extends plays, makes things happen out there on the field when it's not going as right.
So Westshore will get another chance here to try to tie this thing up and even take the lead going into halftime. It is 13-7 now. 2:28 is what's remaining here in the first half. Been a good one on a beautiful afternoon and a great crowd in attendance.
You see Jeanson heading out there again. I wonder if we're going to see another onside kick attempt.
Well, we saw last year that Coach Bob Reist and company are not afraid to try things, especially on special teams.
What I love about the mentality of this coaching staff, especially Coach Bob Reist, is when he started here, he had nothing to lose. He could try stuff and make things happen. And you've seen that last year, and you're seeing it today again this year. And I hope that's the mindset that he has going forward is make things happen. Jeanson gets the ball.
Jeanson recovers the onside kick.
Yeah. You don't have to catch it. You just got to be the last one to touch it.
Unbelievable. So the Huskers trying to demoralize the Westshore Rebels through special teams.
Well, it's the number one rule in football. You don't want to let the other team score, so you don't let them touch the ball. That's how I see defense.
Hard to score from the bench.
That's right.
So the Huskers with a chance to put a few more points on the board. 2.5 to go, and the crowd's loving this. Jeanson, what an impact he's had. He's had the interception, but he has just been lights out on special teams, too.
I remember when he came in his first year, and I saw the first game that I did that year, and I saw him out there, and I said, I really like him. And he's not disappointed me over the last 2 seasons, and he's not disappointed me today. His energy, his enthusiasm, and just his ability to make plays happen. And that just went sideways right from the snap.
Been some troubles between the center and the quarterback.
A couple of high snaps on the last few here have really kind of put them on their heels offensively.
That's a massive loss. Loss of about 7 on the play. Poor Remy Cheval, that won't look good for his numbers. Not his fault. He kept it from being turned over, but you have to wonder if it is a new center under there right now. It's game number 1. A little confusion at the line. Referees coming to sort things out.
Delay a game against the Huskers.
And the second quarter has not been kind penalty-wise to the Huskers, who've grabbed the old 12 gauge and blown off a few digits on the foot. It aided the Rebels in getting their last touchdown, and now it's going to allow the Rebels to get the ball back unless Coach Bob Reist and company have another trick up their sleeves. And Scott Meny, the special teams assistant, done a fine job with this team. Or pardon me, that's for the Westshore Rebels.
My understanding is it's 5-yard penalty and redo the down, but they just gave a loss of down on that one for a time count violation. I'm not sure why.
Talked about some of the additions on the coaching side for the Valley Huskers. Blair Atkinson, the offensive coordinator, a big one. Former University of Manitoba Bison coach. Also Jeff Alamahoda with the Langley Rams in the heyday. So a good punt. Ball at the 22-yard or 24-yard line is where the Westshore Rebels will get underway. And you know, with that big arm of Henkel and the speed of Bryson Mayo, they're one play away.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing.
Knotting this thing up.
And that's the lovely thing about football is you get 6 points for a touchdown. So when you're this close, 13-7, you're one big break away from of making it a tie ball game.
Huskers will line 4 up front. Bring a little heat. Fake handoff, and that one
beautiful.
batted down on a great play. Number 14 for the Huskers, Tyrese Viner-Cox.
Viner-Cox here gets some sunlight under that big body of his. Good vertical, gets up in the air, knocks that ball down. And he's being blocked here, and he sees the pass coming, and just straight up in the air, hands as high as he can. Beautiful job. Knock it down.
Played for Garden City in Manitoba in high school. Member of Team Canada's U18 team that beat the U.S. in that game. And now some pressure. Oh, Henkel could hear the thundering feet.
Smart boy. Number 9, he was coming in hard. Tyson Spence was coming in hard there. And it was just, he last second, Henkel was able to throw it away.
So we'll get the numbers for you at halftime, but offensively, hasn't really been a standout on either side. Poulin maybe with a couple of big receptions, including that 46-yarder. Other than that, though, defense and special teams have ruled the day.
Yep. Especially the defense. Both sides have been phenomenal. Getting pressure when they need to. Making the big plays. Staying with the receiver so they can't make a play. This is smart football.
From the 24, rolling out, there's a end-over-end kick. Stepping out of bounds, Brandon Poulin at center.
And number 20, Connor Elliott for the Rebels, drops his shoulder because he thought he was going to have to make a play on Poulin. And Poulin stepped out of bounds, and then Elliott pulled up. And I love seeing that because that would have given them an extra 15 yards. And sees him right there. Oh, pull up. Don't hit him out of bounds. Don't give him that free 15 yards.
I mean, you've seen that type of kick before, but it is a little unique what Will Hughes is doing, kind of the running and then kicking.
They have him down as a receiver, so I don't know if they don't actually have a punter. I'm not sure why Kyle Clark's not doing the punting duties, who they have down as their punter
Pass
kicker.
to Poulin, and Poulin now picks up 5, maybe 6 on the play.
And a great job here, Poulin using his wheels. They run diagonally to the outside edge. He's trying to get around that corner, but he's cut off. So, you know what? Don't take the hit. Get out of bounds.
5th catch for Brandon Poulin today.
Oh, he's going to have a good day, that's for sure. Beautiful little backwards pass there.
You know, I was talking with Coach Bob Reist and saying, how's he going to be as the number 1 receiver? He said, don't tell Brandon he wasn't last year.
Oh, yeah. He plays like he's the number 1 receiver. He's got that in his mind, and that's great for him.
There's a flag and a red swarm.
Yeah.
Drops down Reed Van Houten.
I don't know. It was just a red and white tide coming through there. Holy smokes. Gets the snap, and everybody's back there. I don't know. I think it might be an offside on the defense because – no. Rebels are waving the offside on the offense. So they're going to wave it off. Yeah, and it's going to be third down.
So that was Leonard Ingram, as we know. 17, Tanner Hayward. 42, Cordell Holder. And 56, Jesse Zajaros, who was outstanding with the Kells Broncos a couple of years ago, played for McMaster's. So that's a whole lot of beef coming at Reed McNaughton there. And
no
those
kidding,
four guys, angry bulls charging, and they'll drop them. 1 minute as the clock continues to tick, and Bryson Mayo fields it at his 25-yard line, and then he'll get a chance to look at that aforementioned 25-yard line as he was taken down right away on a good, nice tackle by 82. Was that Remy Techevo?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, 92, pardon
92.
me. Imagine Sandu.
Catches it here, he stands up, and there's Sandu right in his face. Takes him down quick and hard.
Now, that was a fine punt. It had lots of air time, gave the special teams lots of time to get down and make that tackle. So Westshore with a chance here, under a minute to go, 52 seconds to be precise, according to the exhibition field score clock. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. And that's been one thing. Westshore has not had great field position since their third offensive play, where they were at the Valley Huskers 36.
Yeah.
And so that's maybe been part of the issue for Colby Henkel. He's had to work from deep inside of his zone.
All day long. And that's been the great job that the offense has been doing is pushing the ball down and forcing them to have to work that yardage. And the defense isn't giving them anything. Mind you, they had a couple of runs there in that last series that looked like they could turn into something big. So this defense is going to have to stay tight. And you can see the guys out here. You got a couple of them with ice packs down the back of their jerseys. They're spraying water in their helmet, on their head, down the back of their shirts. They're hot out there. It's baking on that field. Yeah, we're sitting up here in the shade, and we're kind of giving ourselves a fan. But down there.
Last offensive possession, the Westshore Rebels went 3-0 thanks to 2 incompletions. The play before that, though, boy, that was the one where they picked up 37 yards, but ended up getting the touchdown thanks to the 70-some-odd yards and penalties.
Yeah, 9 penalties for 64 yards.
Henkel in the pocket. Tries to slip around the defender, and he's dragged down by the fingertips. And another sack for the Huskers.
Yep. Good job here of the end here, getting around and just staying with them. Steps inside. Is it number 14 one more time, which is Tyrese Viner-Cox here. Gets a hand on him and just holds on nice and tight. Oh, they got a player down on a knee down there. I think somebody might have fallen on top of him.
Viner-Cox, oh boy, that's when you know you're strong, when you can take somebody down that's also big with your fingertips.
Well, Viner-Cox seems to have a motor that just doesn't quit out there. He just keeps going. And, you know, you always tell him, play till the whistle goes. I think he takes that to heart. The second time or third time today, his helmet's come off, though, in the play. So I'm wondering if maybe he might have a helmet issue. But 95, who is Latander there, is being helped off by the trainer.
Victoria Renwick, the athletic trainer, has been awfully busy here in the second quarter. It has been a long second quarter between the penalties and injuries. Nobody's leaving, though. All the fans there. Got the paper out, fanning themselves.
Okay, Viner-Cox came out with a helmet issue. So somebody must have thrown a sub in, and they just grabbed somebody else's helmet and went back out on the field. And then now there were too many men, so the Huskers had to call the timeout to not get a penalty.
If you're going to use a timeout, use it with under a minute to go in the half.
Yep. That's the time to do it.
Always great to watch junior football on opening day when the sun is shining. We couldn't have asked for a better backdrop and a better game between two teams that I think when you see them against other teams, you'll see just how good they are. But when two giants collide, there's not a lot of prettiness.
No, you get a 13-7 score at the halftime is what happens when Titans battle.
And the coaches love it. Other than the penalties, I'm sure they love the actual gameplay that they're seeing on both sides. Smash mouth football, as they call it.
Well, when you're paired up with somebody that's comparable to you skill-wise, yeah, and they make a move and you bite, you gotta cheat a little, right? And sometimes you get caught and sometimes you don't. But who was it that used to say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying?
There's the pass and the completion and a good one.
Yeah.
The ball loose. Fumble.
Oh, flags everywhere. People are jumping on top of each other. It's just getting silly out there now.
The heat is making them nasty.
Oh.
So the ball was at the 21-yard line.
Throw and a catch, and the ball pops out. There, the ball's on the ground. Huskers look like they have it.
Well, then 56 pushed, yeah, and then
22
that started
pushed.
the pushing back and forth.
Yeah.
That won't nullify the fumble, though.
No, there might be some penalties back and forth. So, no, they're getting the ball back.
And it's Aruda Welch, I think, that came up with it, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, he's coming in. He's coming off hot. He's probably going to get bottom of that scrum pile there. Pushed all over the place. But you know what? You gotta let cooler heads prevail out there. Don't get pushing and shoving, because all it's going to do is get everybody all fired up, and you see a lot of orange on the field.
If that was Aruda Welch, what an impact he's had in this first half.
Yes.
You know, coming down, recovering that punt, and then recovering a fumble.
Yep. He's made some really good defensive plays today, too. So he's doing a really good job.
We may need Scooby-Doo and the gang to solve where this ball's going to be placed, though, with the amount of flags that were thrown.
Well, it looks like Bryson Mayo's out here. He knows where it's going to go. He's ready to. Or is that Mayo? No, I think that's number 1. What number is that? Oh, the ball's going way back that way, it looks like.
A roughing penalty, you get a rough. It's like Oprah on her giving days. You get a penalty, you get a penalty.
That was 4 unnecessary roughness penalties on the Huskers. 5 against the Huskers, 1 against them. They're going to be starting down at their own 5-yard line.
Credit the referees, because my memory is not that good. I wouldn't remember past the first 2 guys that did the infraction. They were memorizing numbers like a bingo card there.
Wow, and I mean, okay, so maybe you want to give them that extra penalty, but to give them 5 penalties to 1 in a scrum where there was more than there was.
Well, that's going to put us to about 800 yards in penalties between the 2 teams now. Like,
I don't know. I watched the replay.
We're approaching I've never done a game with 1,000 yards in penalties. This may be the first one.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, because I see the replay and they don't. But there was 2 dancers in that tango there. Yes. And one team gets 1 penalty, one team gets 5.
Well, it was like Dancing with the Stars. They only judge 1 dancer.
Yeah.
So the Huskers will go to work from their own 20. Still 34 seconds to go, believe it or not. There's a handoff. Remy Chevel finds the hole, busts his way through up to the 30-yard line, and there's a first down.
Remy's like, I'll get some of those yards back for you right here, right now, and he did. Fabulous job. Takes off. This is what I was talking about, his cut. Comes off here, cuts off the line, and bursts of speed right there. And it's just number 56, and that is Jesse Zajeros. Just gets his fingertips on him and holds on to him.
25 seconds to go, and the Huskers now with a handoff. Chevo once again busting up the hole, making his way outside before he's torpedoed down at the 52-yard line.
I think there's a holding penalty, though. There's a flag on the far side here. But a great job here. Chevo again, where he goes. He takes off outside, turns upfield, cuts back out one more time, and just burns up the field. I'm not sure. I didn't see a penalty anywhere.
Well, they're marching it back, so they saw it. Holding, you called it, Steve.
Matt.
Or Matt, pardon me.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I multitask, but I'm trying to write things down.
Hey, I'm multitasking. I'm talking and eating pizza at the same time. So.
That's a visual our fans did not want. 15.5 seconds to go here in the first half. Huskers up by 6. They've got the ball after a huge penalty negated that big run. Doesn't matter, though. Remy DeChevo, like a good sled dog, drives the cart up a little bit further.
Coach is playing smart here. Coach, you know what? Just give Remy the ball, let him run it a bit, and let's get out of the half here up 6 points.
I'm surprised after that big run, they went right back to him again. He's got gas in the tank, this young man.
Well, they've been pass heavy so far today. They haven't done a lot of running, so it's good to get him warmed up for the second half, it looks like.
Barring any penalties, last play of the first half. Remy DeChevo, another big run. And that one for 12 yards, and that'll be the first or final play of the first half, and your Huskers lead 13-7. Any last thoughts before we go to break?
Well, these offenses have to get on the ball for the second half because the defenses are doing all the work out there.
We'll take a break. You've got it on BCFC TV. Warren Andrews, Matt Macri coming to you from Exhibition Field with VBN Sports. Well, welcome back to Exhibition Field as the Huskers in front 13-7. Quickly adding up the stats. Here's what I've got so far, and don't hold this as official because you'll be probably sorely mistaken if you do. What I have, though, is, and I've been saying his name wrong from what I understand, so I apologize to the Van Conet family. That is the quarterback, Van Conet family. But you have a fine, outstanding young man as the quarterback. 6 of 15, 96 yards, 1 touchdown for him. The main target, Brandon Poulin, 5 receptions for 81 yards. The other reception went to number 83, Stokes, for 15 yards. The best rusher for the Huskers was number 82, Remy Chovio. From what I understand, that's his last name, properly pronounced, and I know I'll probably get emails attesting otherwise, but we'll go with that. He had 9 rushes for 38 yards. That was kind of offset by a few that were dropped for losses.
Yeah.
As for the other side, a rather easy name to say, Colby Henkel, 5 of 21, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They've somewhat held Bryson Mayo in check. That may not last all game.
Well, I think when we saw Mayo 2 years ago, it was a similar sort of thing. He was quiet in the first half and then really came on in the second half. So, I mean, I think they're trying to pull some focus off of him and then let it go. I think you're going to see a lot more of him here in the second half.
With the Raiders 2 years ago, 43 receptions, 766 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Last time he played junior football a year ago. So we're getting set to kick off the third quarter. A little whistle blew.
Okay, so they're kicking from the 35. So I'm thinking there might have been a penalty at the end of the half. I'm not sure. It must have been an unnecessary roughness penalty at the end of the half because they're 15 yards back. Are they kicking? Yeah, they're kicking from the 35, and they should be kicking from the 50. So a little odd.
So this time it will be the Westshore Rebels in the white jerseys with the red lettering and pants and helmets, kicking from their 35-yard line to the Huskers in the jet black with the green and yellow lettering, green helmet. Gorgeous afternoon here at Exhibition Field. Shout out to Blake Roberts watching on his iPad along with many of you watching coast to coast. As the Huskers will field the kick. Marcel Aruda-Welch. Cutting outside, a nice run back to the center stripe, and good field position for the Huskers to get underway.
Well, it was a huge boot by the kicker there, and I do believe it was Kyle Clark there doing the kicking. And Ruda Welch gets the ball, and he does a great move there where he stands up the defense, and he's able to turn on the Jets and get around that outside, and just nowhere to go. Sealed in by the red shirts, taken down. And they'll start right on the center.
That is the second time they've had the ball to start at the center stripe. It's a 6-point lead, a rather tenuous lead for the Huskers. And Conette throws that over, and that one caught. 6th reception for Brandon Poulin.
A beautiful job by Poulin there. He just does a nice little slant, drops the ball down into his arms.
7-yard one.
Conette just does a great job. Van Conette, sorry. Does
There
a great
you go.
job of
There
just
you
dropping
go.
in there. And that was enough for a first down.
Hey, it's first game for us, too. We're allowed to butcher a few names along the way. Grandmas, grandpas, we apologize. You can always send your emails to Wayne Bjorgi. There's the pass caught by number 13, but not for much.
No, it didn't go very far at all.
Everett Finley getting a touch.
The thing you got going on here, though, is they send us these rosters, but there's no phonetic spelling, so we're just hooked on phonics. We're trying to get it all sorted out ourselves here.
There's a flashback to the 80s. Thanks for that high school trauma there. Hooked on phonics.
Yeah, and that doesn't always work, trust me.
Flag flies.
Oh, just behind him.
Pass behind him. Might be holding on the boys in black.
It came out pretty quick there, so I think I do believe it's gonna be a hold. Got a hand on it. That's what happened there. And it's number 83, Nathan Stokes, was coming across, and he's expecting the ball in front of him. And the hand just got out there and knocked it back a bit. And they're going to decline that penalty. And it'll be 3rd and about 9.
And I tell you what, if you are going to miss a pass, you're going to pay the price whether you catch it or miss it.
Yeah.
Because every time these receivers have got a little mitt on the ball, they have just taken a licking for it, whether they caught it or not. So you better secure it at least to get something for your troubles.
Well, and that's the thing is you got a lot of big bodies out there that are throwing some shoulders, whether you catch it or not.
So for Westshore, it will be Polis Coco, who we saw have a great return. He will be standing back near his own goal posts. Another flag, and joking with the stats guy that I've never done a game where there's 1,000 yards and penalties. This might be the first. Well, they did say it might be the game of the century. I don't think they meant in terms of penalty yards, but...
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm done with that. 13:04 remaining here in the third quarter. Will be Hamann looking to, actually, little drop kick. Hey, they didn't recover, but a nice play is that one fielded by Ronan McSilver, number 6. Hunted down, though, and the ball will start inside the Westshore half at about the 25-yard line.
Well, it's Remy Shivo here, gets down the field and gets the guy just as he's picking up the ball. Yeah, lays a lick on him and makes a great tackle. And Westshore's started it in their end around this spot almost every drive. So they got a lot of work ahead of them, but they're getting used to it.
Van urging on the Huskers as Henkel will clear out the backfield, save for one. Pitches back to Lubin. Lubin stood up. And there you go, 2 bulldozers. And no one was making a mound there.
Well, Lubin does a great job of getting around to the outside edge there, but the Huskers do an even better job of shutting down the edge. And really, he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, nope, they're moving up a few yards here. So it's picked up about 4 yards on the play. Wayne's correcting me and saying 3.
Our crack statistician team, Wayne Bjorgi, join some Java. Join a great football game as Henkel over the middle finds Bryson Mayo.
Mayo's making himself known out there now. Yeah, picks up the first down on this. But a great little crossing play, drops the ball down to him, right in his hands, steps around the tackler, but can't keep his feet underneath him after the fact. But they pick up the first down, and they're just going to work their way down this field.
Well, we talked about it. You know what? You're gonna catch it or drop it. You're gonna get hit, so you might as well catch it. Bryson Mayo did it right there's the ball at the 38-yard line. Henkel now starting to warm up a bit. 4 receivers to the far side. Hand off to Lubin instead. Trying to barrel his way through, and he does. Oh, nice run by Lubin, and then a big hit. And the rugby scrum in the middle of a football field continues with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, there's some monster hits in there trying to knock people off the block and knocking people off the block off that tackle. So Lubin does a great job, comes across, gets stood up here, but turns around and keeps those feet moving, and he's able to find daylight. And it's not until big number 14, who is Tyrese Viner-Cox, comes in and takes him down.
You know how they have disclaimers at the beginning of movies? They should have one in the beginning of these football games. Scenes of violence. If you're squeamish, please turn away.
Yeah. These are 2 hungry teams out there. They're going to hit hard.
Look like the Huskers jumped a bit, and the flag flies late, and pass is overthrown. It won't matter, though.
What?
It was number 20.
The Husker came flying in there. But the offensive lineman grabs his ankle. So you watch here, it's going to be a holding call. And he goes bursting through. on the blitz, and he just, number 66,
Yeah, that's the veteran William McBride.
grabs a hold of the ankle and holds on to him and drags him down to the ground. So that's going to be a holding call, and that should go back 10 yards.
You see the Huskers bench trying to spur on the crowd. Remy Chevo in the middle of that, waving his arms. Remains 13-7 at times. The game has plodded along a little bit thanks to the penalties, but when there has been action, it's been awfully good.
Well, we saw the similar sort of thing during the Super Bowl this year when we had the two defensive teams going at it. It doesn't make for exciting football, but if you're a fan of the defense, man, you got to love this kind of stuff.
Henkel now will air it out. Got the man open. The flag flies, so called pass interference. Bryson Mayo draws that, and fans don't like it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say that's textbook penalty right there. It's not so much that he stays right with him as he doesn't get off of him, and there's the contact right there. I don't know if I'd call that a catchable pass, but he was definitely being interfered with.
Jordan Ferry, the man penalized for the Huskers. There's a flag, and is that on sportsmanlike conduct?
Yeah.
These referees have definitely been busy.
One of the Huskers captains is trying to get up there into the referee meeting, and he just got a flag thrown on him for that.
Well, it feels like for both these teams, you're more in trouble by beating yourself by taking unnecessary penalties. And for the first time today, Exhibition Field will don the stripes and blow the whistle and be referees themselves and voice their displeasure at that call. Another game starting here shortly, if memory serves me correct. I could be wrong. I think it is the Raiders and the Rams.
5 o'clock start, I think. Yeah,
5 o'clock, and then the late game is the Sun hosting the Broncos. Henkel, the former Bronco, finds Felito, and he's shifty. Makes his way all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Well, he catches that ball while the defensive back's just draped on him. Great defensive coverage, but he still makes a miracle catch out of it here. Beautiful job, spins around, and gets upfield and does another move on the linebacker before he's finally taken down by number 9, Brendan Desjardins. Great job by Felito.
Played last year, had 14 receptions, 283 yards, and 2 touchdowns, perhaps letting the fans know there's more to the receiving core than Bryson Mayo. Number 19 for Westshore, Caleb Buchholz. Could have had a sandwich and a lawn chair. He was so far down the field.
Yeah, he kind of pulled up and he's like, yeah, my bad.
You can't really argue that when there's hundreds of people in the stands, cameras on you, and an officiating crew that have all seen it happen.
Well, and the thing is, it was a Husker end came offside as well. So, I mean, they were both offside, but was the end drawn offside because the slot ran offside, right? So they'll sort this out.
The old chicken and the egg adage for football. Which came first? The defensive player offside or the offensive player offside? And it looks like we have our answer.
And it would have been the slot.
I tell you what, if these officials had the old petameters where they mark how many steps they've done, just from the penalties alone, like they're looking like a Richard Simmons workout by the end of this one.
So I think the referee's a little hot. I think we might want to give him some ice water out there because he just threw an objectionable conduct on Henkel, who was talking to him after the penalty was called there.
Oh, the things I could say, but I won't. 9:50 remaining here in the third quarter. 6-point lead for the Huskers. Exhibition field. Go ahead, Matt.
I go the other way. The things I shouldn't say, but I do.
Matt not only does not have his foot in his mouth, he's got the shoe on the foot in his mouth at times.
Gumboots.
Here we go after all is said and done. Rebels throw that over, and it's picked off! He jumped the route! Marcel Aruda-Welsh, he's off to the races to the 5-touchdown Huskers!
He's riding his motorcycle. He's excited about this. And he saw this all the way. He sat on that until the ball was there, jumps it, ball in his head. He knows the only person he's got to beat after that is the quarterback, and he was gone. That was fabulous. That was defense at its finest. Here, let's see this one more time because it's just too pretty not to. Henkel sees his receiver sitting there, and Aruda Welch just jumps that ball, and off he goes. And he knows Lubin's after him, but Henkel's the only one that's going to lay a finger on him. Oh, wait, no, he's not.
Coach Bob Reese said, you know what, this Aruda Welch kid, you're going to love him. He is dynamic. He's athletic. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
And he just made a play right there. And
he's exciting to watch.
19-7 lead for the Huskers. Point after attempt from Hallman about to take place. Kick is up. The kick is good. 20-7 lead now. And the Westshore Rebels will get the ball back. You know, as impressed as I've been with the defense, the special teams have been just that. They have lived up to their moniker. They have been special today, from recovering onside kicks to interceptions.
Well, Aruda Welch is just having a great game today all around. He's all over the field. Excellent job. I mean, you can't say anything else but just fabulous job.
Well, if you're a fan of either of these teams, neat thing I noticed on their websites, you can purchase stuff online now. It used to be you have to come to the game, hope they had whatever size you wanted in stock,
and
then put it on. But now you can actually order online everything from T-shirts to water bottles with your favorite team's logo on there. So
nice.
Head to your favorite BCFC website and support your team.
And, you know, being part of youth sports with the Abbotsford Falcons, it's tough to carry an inventory of clothing that people might buy, and if they don't, you have to carry it over.
Malik Womack with the return, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I love that. A lot of changes. If you come down to Exhibition Field next Saturday, you'll see everything from delicious adult beverages being sold on the side. I don't remember that happening before. To a great crowd that are into the game, to getting merchandise, and of course, concessions always good too. So as much as we love you watching on BCFC TV,
you see that
it's even better in person. Promise.
220 fans out there today. We got 220 people watching right now.
That's awesome.
I think that's great.
It's been a slow build, but the last 2 years it continues, and if the Huskers can keep making hay, pardon the pun, then tell you what, these stands could be even more full next game.
Yeah, as long as they keep playing it. I mean, you got 220 people watching this. Now, granted, you know, we got a bunch of people from the island that couldn't make the trip over here, want to watch it. And then, you know, we got probably a family and whatnot. A lot of these players come from back east. So we get them from Manitoba, we get them from Alberta, Saskatchewan. So, you know, they got family back there that want to watch their kids play. And I think this is a great venue for it. And then we got our tens and tens of fans that are there, you know, just for us. All right, 10.
Well, I tell you what, too, if you're a Westshore Rebels fan, number one, they've got a gorgeous stadium that I believe they just renovated when the soccer team came in. But number two, this is a good team also. I mean, this is two good teams going at it. So you owe it to yourself. It's the battle of the island. It's the Raiders against the Rebels in the home opener. And that's going to be something else. Felito now stamping his mark on this game. Spins off a tackle. Another one finally dragged down by 3.
How many tackles did he break there? Really? Like, we're going to count here. Let's ding on every broken tackle here. So he gets the ball here. Number 1, ding. Steps over another guy. Makes a nice move there. Comes back up. Okay, breaks a tackle there. So that's 3. Another guy gets a hold of him there. And then finally the other 3 guys. 4 broken tackles. 4 broken tackles. Made 2 other guys miss altogether. Beautiful job.
The last 2 receptions that Filito's had, he's had 31 yards between those 2, so those were sandwiched in between the interception. Now the Huskers show blitz, but they'll go up the middle and, swarmed like a rock star in the 60s. Nowhere to go. The mob brings them down.
Yeah, Lupin wasn't able to get going there. There was no room for him to run. Gets the ball, sees the hole there. The big arm of Kai Somerville comes across his helmet and just stops him in his tracks. And you see Big 55's trying to shove Somerville off of him, and Somerville's not moving. He's a big, strong boy out there.
They will mark the ball at the 42. A gain of 1 on the play. Henkel now may go to the air. Clears out the backfield. He's got 3 to the far side. Feels the heat and feels the turf.
We got number 53, Dion Kelly. We hadn't said his name much, but we knew we were going to have to say it at some point today because he just keeps it going. And then Jacob Dodd from the other side. So they both the outside linebackers come in on blitzes here. Dodd gets picked up by the running back, and then Kelly's able to drag him down. And Kelly's just pumped right up there. He jumps up, gives a little chest bump, and then Kai Somerville takes him right out of the air.
That's 5 sacks for this Husker defense on opening day. Add 2 interceptions, and it's looking pretty good for the defensive side. Rebels now will look to punt. Booming punt, and a nice one all the way back to 32.
Disappears in the pile.
And the Huskers will look like they'll scrimmage from about their own 38-yard line.
Well, this is what I'm talking about running forward. You know, the path closes up. Don't deviate from the path. Hit it hard. Drive it forward. So, yeah, it looks like it's around the 40-yard line they're going to put it. Great job there. Just powering forward. Number 13. Everett Finley is just hammering forward. You see all the Rebels laying down there like bowling pins, eh? 5 of them line up, and he knocked 4 of them down.
It is Harrison Karomi down, waiting to be tended to. So we got a nice shot there of big number 64, Jamie Bessett, one of the centers for the Huskers, staying warm on the bike. That's dedication. You're sweating down there on the field to begin with, and then you're on the bike. Keep those legs loose.
You got to keep those legs loose in this heat. And especially the center position, you're hunched over like that the way he is. He's got to keep them nice and loose. He doesn't have the option of cramping up.
One of the returning players on the offensive line for the Huskers is Reed Van Conet. Pass out to Brandon Poulin, slipping and sliding his way up to the 45.
He picked up about 5 yards on the play, and Poulin here does what he does well. His little swing pass out to Poulin, and he comes along and he jumps over the first defender. Doesn't quite make it, and goes out of bounds.
7th reception for Poulin. In fact, he has every reception for the Huskers except for 1 today, and that was the first pass thrown, I believe.
All right, we can't tell the Rebels that. They might start covering them. Poulin's so dynamic, they can utilize him in so many different ways that it's hard to cover him. I mean, he can go the short pass, long pass, out of the backfield, jet sweep. He's just so dynamic. He's fun to watch.
So the Huskers will punt the ball away unless they come up with some more trickery, and they've had a few up their sleeve today. Kept both the Rebels and us announcers on our toes. 5:50 remaining here in the third quarter. 20-7 lead for the Huskers. First of 3 games in the BCFC today. Of course, the Prairie Football Conference, the Ontario one, get going in a couple of weeks. They play an 8-game season as opposed to 10. I mentioned earlier, in case you're just tuning in, if you want to hear about all things Canadian Junior Football, check out Dieter's Canadian Junior Football League podcast. Lots of opinion, lots of great guests. Available in all sorts of formats. A nice run here. Bryson Mayo on his feet, taken down at his own 50-yard line.
Beautiful job there by the defender. I'm trying to catch a number there. It's all scrunched up. But he does a great job here of just taking the feet out from underneath Mayo, who was building up a head of steam as he was running. So your Mayo fields it, comes running forward as hard as he can, bursts through there, the tackler's right there, and he's about to take off. At number 8, DeAndre O'Connor was able to get a hold of his ankles and take him down. And it looks like he's taking a knee there. Maybe I got a little bit too banged up out there.
You know who I feel for, Matt, is those rookies that signed up for junior football. This is their first game. In their minds, they're thinking, I signed up for 9 more games of this.
They've all been here. They've all come and watched. They know what they signed up for. I don't think any of them are new to this.
5:23 left. It's been tough sledding for the offenses today. Defense and special teams have been something else. As the season gets underway and Henkel clears out the backfield, fakes a handoff to, he gives it to Lubin. Faked out the announcer.
Yeah, Lubin does a good job there. You were the only one fooled because you guys was able to pick up 5 yards on the play there. But Henkel does a really good job of selling this. He gives the fake there, and he pulls back up, and he's even facing us and his hands empty when we thought he had the ball. And Lupin's able to pick up 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Rebels.
He should really be on America's Got Talent because I've seen magicians far worse than him on that show. Ball at center. Henkel, 2nd and 5. Westshore Rebels line up 4, including Felito here on the right side to the near hash. Henkel looks over the middle. Now he moves. Flag flies. There'll be pass or holding, pardon me. Felito couldn't quite bring it in over the shoulder. Wouldn't have mattered. This one would have been coming back.
Yeah, he outran the ball there. Yeah, he outran the ball, and he had a great line on it, but it goes over his back shoulder because he ran a little bit too fast. So Henkel does a really good job here. Bit of a hold there. Gets flagged. Henkel does a good job, throws the ball, but Felito's just a little bit too far ahead of it.
Well, all the press, all the newspapers and even TV coverage was all about Bryson Mayo, and understandably he's a fantastic athlete and receiver, but Nathan Felito has shown that if you're a Rebels fan, you got more than one offensive player to be really excited about receiving the ball.
Well, and it's at any level of sport. The new toy always gets the most attention, right? They talk about these players that they draft in the NFL, and you've got fabulous receivers that are there already, but they're all talking about the new guy coming in.
Another thing I've failed to mention halftime, which is neat that we saw, is that a couple of young fellas out there attempting field goals, and they got BC Lions tickets for their troubles. So
nice.
Congratulations to them. They'll be watching the Lions play the Eskimos later this month, along with their lucky families.
Right on. That's awesome.
Lots of reasons to attend the BCFC or, hey, wherever you are watching across this beautiful country we call Canada. Get out and support local football. From minor football to junior football to professional football. We want this game to grow. We want these athletes to get their due. Henkel now goes to work. Throws it up. He's got Felito open. He kind of lost his footing. Probably about 5 yards overthrown, though, on the play, and Henkel's slow to get up. You talked about it. We don't see a quarterback listed as the backup, so I'm sure the coach is holding their breath every time Colby Henkel goes down.
Well, I saw about 7 guys reach for their hamstrings, so maybe they were the ones that, as soon as Henkel went down, they were like, oh, hammy.
Can't throw, coach. Sorry.
Can't
Wrist
throw.
is sore.
Yeah. Blister.
Blister.
That's
a baseball injury.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
No kidding, eh?
45 is where the Rebels will punt this ball from, inside their own half. 2 returners back to receive this. And they'll fake the play, and it was like the returners knew that. Start stepping up, looking for the first down. They won't get it, though. They needed to get to the Huskers 50.
Well, and that was a desperation play, and you knew it was a desperation play because they got to get some points on the board here. They haven't had a lot of luck in getting into the end zone so far today, and just not enough room. Beautiful wrap-up and takedown there.
Run there by Byron McKinnon, the linebacker.
To the end of the run there, he steps to the outside of his blocker, and a Husker sitting there waiting for him, like he ran into his open arms. He stays on the inside of his blocker, lets his blocker take that guy. He's got a first down plus.
Into the waning moments of this third quarter, 3:20 remaining. It is a 13-point lead for the Huskers. They will take over the ball at their own 53-yard line. Van Konet with the handoff now, and right up the seam for some hard yards. Maybe about 3 or 4 on the play, depending on where the spot is.
Number 82.
Remy, they weren't kidding when they said Shivo would be the main man running the ball.
Well, and you look down here. I mean, they've got some decent runners. They got some good-sized guys and everything. But he's got that cutting and speed ability that you want to utilize as much as possible. So that means you got to get the ball in his hands. And if they're going to be a throwing team and they still want to get the ball in his hands, he's going to see the lion's share of when they do run.
Well, they've talked about number 3, Marcel Aruda Welch, possibly running the ball too, as Westshore brings the pressure and brings him down. Flattened at the 48-yard line. Good rush there by the Westshore Rebels.
And it looked like Van Konet just didn't know where to go with that one. He saw the rush coming. He tried to step up, but everybody's coming back towards him. And, if you dropped that ball, it looked like the Mark Sanchez butt fumble all over again. He got driven back by a hind quarter of one of his linemen.
So a sack there for the Rebels. That'll be their 4th sack, I believe, of the day. They had back-to-back sacks in the first quarter. That is 4 on the day. I think slow going, 1:30 remaining. Clock, though, continuing to tick.
Oh.
Now, are they missing a snapper? That's what I think they were screaming for. Number 90, Tyson Spence, defensive lineman. And that's what, the 3rd or 4th time count violation for the Huskers today?
Well, and they gotta figure this out here. I mean, they're still short a guy on the field. The long snapper stays on the bench.
Here we go.
When he runs out, somebody runs off, and they're already short a guy.
Now you wonder if the heat's playing a little bit in the mental game of them here.
Oh, you can't use that as an excuse. Weather's the weather. You come to play football, you got to be focused. And if he was getting water or icing himself, he's sitting on the bench.
Rebels brought some pressure again. This one will bounce to Mayo at the 25-yard line. Scoots up and then thundered down to the 40. Every hit produces a loud thud in this game.
They're hitting hard out there. And I think, when you get the title on the game of the two Titans colliding, they got something to prove, and they're proving it with every hit here. And it's number 11, Keenan Onabuchi, that comes down and drops the shoulder on Mayo as he's going to the ground.
We haven't had much of a chance to talk about him. Played for University of Manitoba and the Winnipeg Rifles. 5 games, 4 interceptions last year.
Wow. Well, you've seen him out there all game. He's out there, he's making plays, he's around the ball. But he really hasn't done anything huge, but he's just been consistent.
4-man front for the Huskers, but the whistle blows.
I think that's going to be a procedure call.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, even though I won't be there probably in person, I'm excited for the rematch later in the year between these teams when they get all the bugs sorted out. They're both playing as cohesive units.
Yeah.
I think that could be something special. I believe it's about the game 6 for the Huskers on their schedule. Westshore will go to work from the 35-yard line. 2nd and 15. Henkel fakes the pitch. And he is popped down. 6 sacks for the Huskers.
It's number 52, James Moore there. And he came in sneaky here because you don't really see him. He's coming across the field, and Henkel steps around his blocker thinking he's got a path there. And Moore is nice and low and just wraps those legs out and takes him out from underneath him.
6 sacks, 2 interceptions for these Huskers in black today against a very good Westshore Rebels team. They'll need to dig down as the ball on the 35. Pressure again. And once again, he's dropped on back-to-back sacks.
James Moore one more time getting in there. He's having a game a second half right now.
That's the end of the third quarter also.
There you go. End it with a bang.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't Moore. It was 95. It was Latander that came in there and got the sack on that one. I think Moore might have made him, spooked him backwards, and then Latander was all over him.
Isaiah Latander showing why he was one of the most heavily recruited defensive players out of Manitoba this offseason. I know the Huskers awfully glad that he chose Chilliwack as his junior destination this year. And we mentioned it earlier, but in case you weren't tuned in, we'll mention it again. David Steeves, not here today. He's away for a wedding, but this guy is something else for the Huskers. He's a middle linebacker. He's powerful. Coach Bob Reese said he's a guy that when he showed up, he drew everyone to him. He's a leader. 4 years of university in the States. He hits like a beast. He's got speed, and he'll be joining the Huskers next week.
So the Huskers defense, which is really, really good, it's going to get a nice big beast stud that's going to make it really, really better. Oh, that's not a bad thing at all.
So if you weren't planning on coming here next Saturday to see the Okanagan Sun pay a visit, you may want to now. High kick, and that one will bounce away from Poulin. He scoops it up, doesn't have much to go. Slips around a couple of tackles before he is brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, he does a really good job of getting the ball, reversing field, and still picking up yards here. He has nowhere to go where the direction he's running, so plays this nicely, bit of a sweep across, sees that he's got all cut off, reverses field, but just nowhere to go, drops down the shoulders and just drives forward as far forward as he can.
I'll tell you, my MVP of this game so far has to be Colby Henkel's kidney protectors. Because that poor guy has been dropped 7 times for sacks, and he is a tough customer. He keeps getting up. Little wildcat now to Marcel Aruda-Welsh. Oh, he slips around a couple of tackles before he's brought down to the 45. Gain of 6.
Nice job. Nice job. Well, and this shows you how far that the Huskers have progressed. I mean, I don't think they had 7 sacks. Oh, no, that's not a good thing. Aruda-Welch is down there on the ground, and they're helping him stretch out his legs.
It'd be a massive loss. Yeah, it looks like he kind of skimmed his knee a little bit, maybe tweaked it. Kind of the last tackle, and explaining to the trainers right now on that left side, he felt it kind of hopefully not explode. I hope I'm reading my sign language wrong. But he has been absolutely fabulous in his debut, has he not, Matt?
Oh, he's been unbelievable. Unbelievable. And, you know, as much as he looks like he's in a bit of pain, there's probably a lot of frustration, too, because he's just having the time of his life out there.
So the Huskers up 20-7 here with 14:03 remaining in the fourth quarter. BBN Sports proud to bring you every camera angle you're seeing. Boy, you might not even be closer to the action if you were here in person, as we've got cameras on the field, cameras up above. Big Brother is watching you, and the action is fun. I'm Warren Andrews along with Matt Macri. And he is walking off on his, I was going to say on his own, and then a couple of big boys, they say, you know what, save your legs. Let's help you out. And it might be his shin, actually.
Well, he had that bandaged up earlier after the half, so I got a little bit of turf burn, it looks like there. But I think it might be cramps. You look at the way he's walking, stiff-legged on both legs. I think he's probably cramped up there pretty good.
Ball to 45 and the handoff, and Remy Chauvio.
Picks up a good 5 yards, 4 yards on the play, third and short.
So we'll say about 3.5.
Yeah, they're getting him up on the bike. So, Chauvio here takes off for a bit of a run. Almost a first down. He's going to be third and about a half yard.
Do you go for it, Coach Matt Macri?
Oh, they're going to measure.
So this could be a big play of the day, because the Huskers, with that 2 major lead right now, if they can keep the ball a while longer, maybe pick up a few more points, that really backs the Rebels into a bit of a corner. If the Rebels can stop them here, though, it's anybody's ball game still.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's only 13 points with 13 and a half minutes left in the game. Though we haven't seen a lot of offensive scoring, that's only 2 scores to win, right? So
they've been hard to come by, though, haven't they?
Oh.
Out of the 3 touchdowns.
Oh, it's going to be a first down for the Huskers.
And 3 touchdowns scored in this game, 2 of them on offense, 1
Just
on
short.
defense.
It's going to be third down by about that much.
So the big boys now will bear down into the turf. First, they'll plot a little game plan. Big moment here in the fourth quarter. Huskers swept the season series last year, although in junior sports, what happened the year before really isn't much unless you're trying to build on your program.
Yeah.
The cast changes, and
well, then the main contributors are going to be the older guys, and they're going to move on and age out and whatnot. And the same with any sort of youth sports is just because your JV program was good last year doesn't mean it's great this year, right?
So it's first down, but the flag was thrown by the referee. It was 15, the quarterback, Van Conant, sorry.
They're going to go offside on the Rebels, so it's going to be a first down regardless. They're going to decline that.
And he actually picked up probably about 2 yards on the play. It was nice.
Oh, way more than that. I think he picked up 3 or 4. So he did a really good job there of getting around that edge. He didn't try powering up the middle. He made it look like he was going up the middle, stepped back and came around the outside edge here and ran forward. Everybody had crashed in, and he had room to run.
Rebels showing pressure up top, handoff. Chauvio, and a small gain, and they will break the plane of center and get it just inside of the Rebels' half.
And off the number 82, Chivo with the run. Number 9, the Westshore Rebels on tackle. That's on second down.
So I was saying earlier, they got 220 people watching. And, I'm naming off Canadian provinces and the island and different cities that people could be watching from. And I just got informed we got someone watching all the way from Australia.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I won't attempt my accent because I will offend your whole country.
And me.
And me.
And me. No, I mean, I think that's fabulous. I mean, it's got to be about 3 a.m, there, though.
Van Conant, handoff. Remy Chevel, the remedy.
The remedy. And they're just working this clock. I think it's a smart move by Coach Reese. They work this clock, get the ball, drive it down, and now they're going to punt. and put the Rebels back in their own end zone.
And I'm really surprised we haven't seen Bryson Mayo back to field these kicks anymore.
Oh, is that him coming now?
Oh, here he comes, number 4.
Way to jinx it, Warren.
I was going to say, nothing against number 23, Polis Coco, who is absolutely fabulous himself, but
Yeah. Oh, no.
Bryson Mayo, one of the best athletes in this game.
Yeah. And the Huskers have done a really good job of containing him.
Well, broken play. One way of not getting it to him, and there's a hard block. Oh, he popped him down. Wasn't sure if that was illegal, but I think it was.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. That was shoulder to shoulder. That's perfectly clean.
Two forces of mass colliding.
Watch this, though. The bad snap. Darius Kelly does a great job getting the ball and kicking it. Doesn't panic, doesn't try and run around, just does what he's got to do to get the ball down the field. And then here's that big hit. Wrapped up, taken down, all done.
That was Ronan McSilver, the defensive player that picked that up.
Like Carlton Abode with that beautiful hit there to keep him going.
Ball on the 32-yard line of the Rebels is Westshore's Kobe Henkel. Moves Lubin up. They'll bring some more there, and Polito had nowhere to go on the handoff.
Well, Polito didn't realize that Latander was right behind him. Polito was coming around the corner going, okay, where am I going to make a move on this guy? And Latander just didn't give him time. He was trying to pick column A or column B, and he got column C. Crushed.
Brought to you by the letter C. 10:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Huskers up by 13. Westshore with the ball. Team in white and red looking to turn this season around under Coach Shane Beatty, who took over partway through last year. Colby Henkel looks, checks again, third check, throws it down, and it's intercepted! Desmond Jeanson, say hello!
Well, Jeanson, he just keeps getting better and better. Wow. And this is a great catch, period. But for a defensive back, this is a phenomenal catch. He's fighting off the receiver. So there's Henkel. He's trying to find some room. And he's got Mayo in double coverage, but he's like, you know what, I'm going to throw it up there and I hope he can make a play. And Jeanson read that ball the whole way. He did a great job of keeping his eyes on the ball, playing the ball, and forcing Mayo to try and play defender on him.
Shane Claridge, the other defensive back that was there helping out, watch Mayo.
Yeah, watch Mayo in awe is what he did. Because that's why I just watched him. I was a bit in awe myself.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in the handoff. Giovo slips around a tackle, darts ahead for a gain of about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Although Tim Amy here in the booth saying it's 5.
Yeah, I'd say it's closer to 5. Oh, no, they just moved it back. As soon as I said that, he moved it back. Like, it's like he heard me.
5 of the last eight offensive plays have been to Remy Giovo.
Well, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and eat up time here. They're going to give the ball to Remy. They're going to try and get him 5 yards at a time and just move the ball down the field.
Right away, the flag goes. That one darted over the middle, and that one intercepted. Good play there by the Westshore Rebels, Malik Womack. And we talked about the fact he had 4 interceptions to lead the Rebels last year, and he kicks off his new year with 1 today.
Well, Womack's coming across the field here, coming down the field, and he has to turn back across. And number 7, Carlton Abode, is coming to block for him. So he's coming across the field too, and they don't see each other, and they just connect here. He turns upfield, and him and Abode go knee to knee and knock each other down.
That pass was a low bullet. Intercepted by Womack, and so Rebels keep themselves alive after the tide turned. However, there's a player down on the field as we speak. The humidity in this up. Bryson Mayo, number 4.
Yeah, it is. No.
Great shot there of the logo introduced last year, that scarecrow that gives the children nightmares at night.
It's number 3, Benedito de Barros, that's having some problems getting off the field here.
The former SFU Klansman and Langley Ram, Kieran Benedito de Barros, number 3 for the Westshore Rebels. You can see Bob Reist in conversation with the officials. Apparently the conversation didn't go the way Coach Reist wanted.
I love Coach Reist with how animated he is on the sideline, because you can tell when he's upset. But he's not actually mad. He's just making his point down there, and he's got the arms going, headset comes off, the paper's going. The passion, and he expects his players to play with that passion. He's going to coach with that kind of passion. Love it.
Well, they often talk about teams will take on the demeanor of the head coach,
Yep.
the way they play. I think the Huskers have embodied that over the last year and a bit. Henkel now, and they're bringing the heat, but it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Barreling ahead, number 88, Kyle the Fridge White.
He gets wrapped up by a defensive lineman, and they flicks him off like was he there? Right there. Number 9 comes around, tries to wrap up, flings him off, and then he's wrapped up, and 2 guys to take him down.
That was Brendan Desjardins that felt the brunt of that, and you know those big offensive linemen, if they can get their hands on the ball, it's like they're like a kid with a bag full of sugar. It's like, let's go.
Well, but this guy wasn't an offensive lineman. He's a running back. And 88, he's a fullback. So
that is a large fullback.
There goes ABA Okoko.
ABA Okoko Chomsing, the former W.J. Mowat star.
Hold on a second.
Wasn't it?
Back this bus up.
Or was it Abbotsford?
Yeah, well, he played at Mowat, but he got trained with the Falcons. I showed him how to do that stuff there.
Put up some great numbers, did he, with Mowat last year. 66 carries, 662 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 receptions for another touchdown, and gets his first junior carry. I know Mom and Dad are probably in the stand, or his family and friends are in the stands and awfully proud of seeing him get that chance.
No, ABA came to play at the Falcons years ago, and he's a year younger than my son. But the two of them became fast friends, and I've done a lot of watching ABA play over the years. Coolest name in sports, ABA Okoko.
And that pass overthrown. So he had the run.
Yeah, just a little bit too high there for Okoko. And Dion Kelly was right there. He wanted to make a play on that. There's Dion and Darius Kelly. There's 2 more that played with the Falcons. Grew up.
You know what? And we were looking at the rosters, and you mentioned them, and they had a great impact last year on the Huskers. Yeah. And you knew with another year under their belt, they'd be that much better.
Well, and they're very good students of the game, and they both of them, Dion and Darius, they both work hard at getting better every day.
8 minutes, 5 seconds remaining. It has not been the lightning-paced game to start this BCFC season, but 2 hard-nosed teams going toe-to-toe here in a heavyweight tilt at Exhibition Field. Weather's absolutely gorgeous, though. The light breeze blowing. People playing in the playground. Lots of people in the stands, and we're glad to bring you all the action here from coast to coast and across the World Wide Web. Don't forget that the Huskers and I believe the Rebels both at home next week on Saturday. If you can't make it, we'll have all the action here on BCFC TV. Might even have some of the names ironed out. Feel free to let us know where you're watching from, too. We love to hear from you. My personal Twitter is @some_sportsguy. Of course, you can use hashtags, or you can use @VBN Sports or @BCFC. NBA Coco Chompsing fakes the handoff. Henkel. Oh, like sharks smelling blood in the water. They'll drop him down, and 8 is great.
Wow. And that's Latander one more time. You got Latander, you got Moore in there, and you got big number 14, Tyrese Viner Cox. That's a lot of muscle coming at that poor quarterback. I don't blame him for just laying down quietly.
8 sacks against Colby Henkel.
Latander is just a monster off that edge. He's coming in so hard. He's up in the middle right now. Just flying in there.
Once again, they'll bring pressure this time. Henkel says, I've felt the heat in the pocket. I'm going for a little run. This. Onyebuchi finally slows him down, but a nice run there by Colby Henkel.
Well, you watch this here. Here comes Henkel, and he gets hit here. Yeah, he goes right down on that 45-yard line. He's going to be about a yard.
Yeah, he picked up 10, but with the sack that drove them back.
He's about a yard and a half short.
They're down by 13, so they're going to go for it. 3rd and 2, and the whistles blow.
The Huskers are gassed. They need some water. They need some air.
Even the coaches are gassed. You can see some sweat stains that look like paintings at the Sistine Chapel, just running down their shirts.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you from experience, coaching down on that turf is not fun. Not fun. We did the flag football provincials a couple years back. I was the commissioner from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., standing out on the turf field in the hot sun. The tournament went longer. I just didn't last longer than 5 p.m.
No.
Where they had to come and pick me up in the golf cart and bring me back to the clubhouse. Yeah. About 5 degrees hotter down there.
So we salute all those young men and the coaches and the athletic trainers out there slaving over a hot kitchen, as they often say. Trying to cook up a win on both sides.
Ice down the back of their shirts. They're just doing whatever they can to cool off right now.
One of the happiest places are the gas stations that sell the big bags of ice.
Yeah.
Here we go, 3rd and 2 for the Rebels. Down 13, Henkel, 1 in the backfield. 3 receivers to the wide side. Handoff, and a big hole for NBA Coco Chompsing. He tripped himself up, but a first down for the Rebels. Is he hurt?
Yeah, he grabbed his knee right away.
And we're fans of NBA. We love the young man.
I just say he's a good young guy. Excellent football player, but he's a fabulous young man. He made a move there. You can see as his legs went out from underneath him, he grabbed his knee right away.
He got the first down, but that's the least of the Rebels' problems is Bryson Mayo over talking with him. The young man had offers to go to McGill University and play football there.
Yeah.
The NBA, and a lot of the coaching staff coming out now to have a look. And young man that's been a star at Border Bowls, played some football in Texas, where I believe his father lives.
Yeah. Dad lives in Texas. He played down there. Had a rough first year, second year, he lit it up. Did great at Mowat. He was a star for the Falcons. You can talk about his football ability all day long, but it's his character. I mean, he's a solid individual. Always got a smile on his face. Always picking up his teammates. He's a really good guy. I hate seeing him down on the ground like that, and that looked really bad when he tried to do that. The cut back there, you just saw that leg fold underneath him.
As both teams looking on. Westshore Rebels did get the first down, just over 6 minutes to go. A hot day here in Chilliwack. You see some of the Huskers trying to stay loose on the sidelines. Brandon Poulin. A little dancing. And of all the Huskers, boy, on offense, Poulin would have the most reason to dance, wouldn't he, Matt?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because when you get here pregame, they got the music going, and all the guys are around like the locker room, and they seem to be getting ready and talking and put stuff on. You come around the corner, there's Poulin dancing to the music, getting himself fired up. And you can see that energy. You feel that energy off of him.
7 catches on the day. The Huskers, though, have gone to the ground.
Just that knee folded on him. Poor guy. Hope he'll be okay.
Henkel clears everyone out. Pressure down, that'll be a hold. Throws it deep, double coverage. Caught in the end zone by Felito, touchdown, but I think the celebration will be short-lived.
Definitely going to be short-lived here. You see the hold, and it's right there. Hands up into the face.
Been very impressed with this front four.
Not a hold, it's hands to the face, they're calling.
Front four of the Huskers have done such a nice job, if they haven't got in to get one of their 8 sacks, just putting pressure on Henkel and forcing him into throws he might not want to do.
Yeah. The lineman's frustrated. I think the whole team's frustrated. The coaches are going to be frustrated with that one. But that hat just came up off the chest and caught underneath the face mask and pushed the helmet up, and that's hands to the face, and that's not allowed.
Both teams will have lots to look at in terms of film in between games. Try to eliminate some of those penalties that were rearing their ugly head and costing both teams. It hasn't been just one team. Both teams have been guilty of it. Henkel now, as the crowd starts to pipe up. Henkel looking around, throws it over the middle, overthrows both receivers. Only one defender in the area.
Yeah, Henkel was trying to get rid of the ball there. Drops it down and just nowhere to go with it.
I really think this game not indicative of what Colby Henkel can do, thanks to the pressure from the defense. And even with the University of Windsor, he only lasted a semester. He just didn't feel college life was for him. 19 of 32, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, but get this, he was sacked 10 times.
Jeez.
So it's like he's reliving that nightmare here in a different jersey.
Yeah.
Henkel once again, empty backfield. Bryson Mayo gallops away from a defender. Couldn't stay in bounds, though, but that will be a first down, I believe.
Yeah, that should be enough. He knew where he had to get to. And I mean, this is a smart football player, Bryson Mayo. As he figured out where he had to get to, and he got there. And you watch it here. You get a little swing pass here. You get the blockers out in front of him. You got the blocks out there. Gets around the one guy. Toe steps over the 30-yard line, which was his target.
Looks like Bryson Mayo trying to stretch out. Bit of an injury now, and the referee's kind of looking over, wondering if Westshore needs to take a timeout. Here comes the trainer out to tend to him, and they need him on the field, though.
Yeah, the heat's going to get to people here now, and I mean, that's going to be huge. As it's going to be cramping, sore. And then on the flip side of that is you're out there, you're playing a contact sport, you're getting a little frustrated, and you're hot.
Yes.
Super hot.
And there's no relief. There's a tiny bit of shade on the bench.
Yeah, we're sitting at, we're 3 hours right now.
We appreciate you being with us for 3 hours of junior football here to kick off the year.
You see Aruda Welch down there on the sideline. He's walking a bit better now, but he definitely cramped up there.
Well, if they say that the longest climbs are the most satisfying, maybe you can look at it from that way.
Yeah.
If you're on the winning side, of course. If you're on the losing side, well, that was a bit of a waste of time, wasn't it?
He's feeling better because he sought out the one piece of shade that's down there on that field, and that just appeared in the last 5 minutes. So,
see, I don't mind this because we get paid by the word, so Wayne better break out the paycheck. 20-7 lead for the Huskers as the Rebels have the ball. Threatening. Bryson Mayo, though, will have to sit. So they will not have him. They will not have Ebie Okoko-Chomsing, who looked oh so good in just a couple of plays. They waited with him a little bit, then brought him on, and I'm sure he was delighted. And then the thing you don't want to think about happened.
Well, Lubin was doing pretty good, and I mean, so they were just kind of working along with that, and then Lubin seemed to go down a bit and get banged around. They figured, well, give him a shot, see what he can do. But here comes Lubin back.
Head off to Lubin, and there's a touchdown, Rebels, and they're within 6.
Yep. Leaping Lubin does the job one more time here. He doesn't have to leap this time, but he gets around the outside edge there and gets in. And so you get a little draw play here. And then he cuts back, and it's just a massive hole. Everybody went to his left, so he went to his right. And there he is in the end zone.
I will have a chuckle if that nickname sticks with him.
Yeah.
Leaping Lubin.
Well, that one leap into the end zone was phenomenal.
That was phenomenal. And so it is 20-13. They can pull within 6 points here, and it's like someone got out the defibrillators and got the heartbeat of the Rebels going, and we've got a football game here. Quite a finish. 5:09, and the Huskers need a sustained drive here to keep that offense off the field.
You're 100% correct. Yeah, they need to use up the next 5 minutes of this 5:09 and just keep that defense off the field, or that offense off the field.
Or return a kick for a touchdown.
Or score fast.
Yes.
Score fast and then play defense. So you got choices. It's a nice thing about life. There's options.
Take the red or the blue pill. You decide. And for a great finish in a game many thought would be the best game of the week. Definitely the longest. And, well, if this continues, it will be one of the best games. Super tight here. Ball kicked off from the 45-yard line for the Rebels. The Huskers 2 back to receive. High booming kick all the way down to the 8-yard line. It's where the Huskers will get going now, and good pressure from the Rebels. Drag him down from behind to the 25-yard line. That's where Reed Van Kluten.
Well, and here they go, because it's time for the Huskers to put this game away. And this is what championship teams do, is when they've got the lead with 5 minutes left in the game, they shut the door. And that's what the Huskers need to do right now.
Van Knet now in the gun, flanked by Remy Chovo. 3 receivers to the wide side. Now they'll bring in 1 to block. Hand off. Chovo. Hard run up the middle. Picks up a couple of yards. Keeps that clock ticking.
It is a great job of driving those legs, keeping the ball moving forward. He's wrapped up by 3 guys. He's got a 4th one pushing over top of them. But he's just driving as hard as he can.
It's like a pickup of about 6 on the play, so 2nd and 4. Pass over to Poole, and he catches it, and that will be a first down.
No, he's going to be about a yard short.
Was he a yard short?
He's going to be about a yard short. He's right on the 35. He's got to make it the 36. So a nice little jump pass there. Poulin goes up and gets it. Beautiful job by Womack here, to Malik Womack, to come in here, wrap him up, and take him down as he's landing, not giving him any extra yardage.
So big decision for the coaching staff here. 3rd and 1. They have a 6-point lead. 3:30. If they can get the first down, the clock will continue to march in their favor.
Oh.
Another time count violation, it looks like, and so that'll make the coaching decision a lot easier. Those too many men.
Too many men in the huddle. So that's going to make the decision a lot easier.
And you can see the body language of the Rebels. It's picked up a bit. The shoulders are a little more square feeling a little more confident here. And once again, the Husker defense will be asked to shoulder the load late in this football game and preserve the lead. Three and a half left to go. Holman back to punt from his own 10. You remember the last time they tried to punt, it was not a clean punt. And in fact, Mr. Kelly was the one who had to kick that up.
Well, they do this short.
Still confusion. Are they going to march him back some more? So about the 5th or 6th time count violation, and that'll move the Huskers back even further, and the crowd now starting to get a little uneasy. What felt like a sure win.
Yep. Well, and
Holman now.
Oh,
going to hold on to it. And the Rebels will take over at the 10-yard line.
And the Huskers just seem to fall apart here. And they got 3 minutes left at 2 minutes and 59 seconds. And they couldn't seem to get that punt off. They had 2 delay games, moves them back 10 yards. And then the snap goes right to the up back. And the up back wasn't ready for it.
What a gift for the Westshore Rebels. If they're going to score, the Huskers hope they can score awfully fast.
Well, and it was funny because you got Wayne over here going, give them the 2. If they're that close, give them the 2, and then kick it all the way down the field and kill the clock, right? And they would have been a smart idea to give up the safety there.
Henkel now with a handoff to Lubin, looks for the hole. And it is closed down on a good defensive play there by number 95, Isaiah Latondra. And he will pick up maybe about 1 on the play. 2nd down and goal. Fans urging the Huskers on as they'll try to dig deep. Westshore trying to tie this game up on a major. Henkel drops back, throws it over the middle. Broken up on a great play.
Almost.
Defensively.
An interception there would have been beautiful. And it was number 22. Jordan Ferry just couldn't bring it in.
Now, do they go for the field goal to go within 3 and then try to get the ball back?
Oh, no, you got to go for it here. You got to go. There's no time left. There's 2:28. You got to score.
And here we go. Rebels want a timeout as the crowd pipes up.
Well, and it was fun. It's kind of telling because just before Westshore scored, I noticed a lot of the Husker players were sitting down on the bench because the bench was now in shade. The fans had gone kind of quiet. It was like, Westshore really could get their offense going, so everybody kind of just got lulled into this false sense of complacency. And then Westshore's down the last 2.5 minutes, but bang, 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 score, get the ball back, cause this turnover. And now they're sitting down there on the 7-yard line. It's 3rd and goal. Oh no, they can get a first down at the 2.
So it is not.
It is not for 3rd and goal. They can still get a first down at the 2-yard line.
Which for the Huskers would be almost the worst thing because then the clock continues to tick.
Yeah. The Huskers need to stop them here. This play is huge for the Huskers.
Plain and simple, ball on the, I believe, 8-yard line. And now the bench urging on the fans. The crowd responds in kind. Trying to get that little shot of adrenaline to the Huskers defense, and the Rebels will try to quell the masses here. Colby Henkel clears out the backfield, heading to the air, throws it, he's got a man open, it's Bryson Mayo. Touchdown, Rebels. Tied game, 2:22 left. The point after attempt about to come.
There's a flag on the play. It was holding after the play.
The referees have been awfully busy today.
And Aruba Welch here is all cramped up again.
They are signaling touchdowns still.
Touchdown stands. Tie game.
Now the Huskers kickers had a good game. He's had a strong leg. If they can make some hay, get down there a little bit. The offense still stalled a bit as of late.
Yep. Yeah, if they can get down that field fast and get a field goal in there, that could change it all.
Coming down to the wire, though, Westshore Rebels reeling in the third quarter have managed to pick themselves up thanks to some fine plays and some costly penalties by the Valley Huskers. And this is where we stand right now.
And now, I've never been here for a tie game. What happens if they miss this extra point and it gets tied? Is there overtime?
I believe it just stays tied. There was a tied game last year. Westshore was actually involved in a tied game, second game of the season.
Oh.
Maybe with the way these teams are built, maybe that's the deserving result for both teams.
Well, it'd be nice to they tie here, then they got to tie in Victoria and go into the playoffs tied. That could be the rubber match.
They literally dragged the player off the field, dragged him on his back to get this play going.
Well, you got to improvise sometimes. Right, and he cramped up earlier, and he's same thing. He's cramping up. He's got to get some more liquids in him, some more water in him.
Well, they need him.
Yeah.
On the kick returns and punt returns and defensively, they need him.
Wow, they need to get him in the shade. If they're going to drag him, they should have dragged him another 3 feet into the shade is what they should have done.
Here we go, number 47 in red and white with the kick, Kyle Clark. Kick is up. Flag flies.
Hang on.
2:22 left. This has been a game of inches, literally.
Wow.
Does anyone know the record for the longest BCFC opening game?
We might be close.
Paul Short, if you're watching, you're the league historian. We'd love some info on that. What was the longest game to start a season? Well, if you got dinner in the oven, put it on warm. Might be a while. 2:22 left. Clark now, and the Huskers bringing everyone. There's no one back. Kick is up, kick is good. Rebels with the lead. 2:22 remaining. Huskers get the ball back here, and Ethan Holman, you can see him warming up his leg.
Yep.
In case he's called upon.
He wants to be ready.
This is where the Huskers are hoping the playmakers they have can deliver. And they've had some good playmakers today.
Well, they got some great playmakers on this team, and they just got to seal the deal here.
You'd love to see a guy like Desmond Jeanson, who's so quick, get a shot at returning a kick, although he might be gassed from being out on the field so long playing defense.
Yeah. You see a lot of the big boys on the D-line here head straight over to the bench that's in the shade and get some ice on their necks and cool down. It's warm out there.
So here we go, Brandon Poulin on the near side. He's a playmaker. He can be electric. Can he be the difference? Clark getting set to kick. For all intents and purposes, this could be the football game. High rise and kick into the hands of Poulin. Red wave comes down, but Poulin stays on his feet. Dragged down at the 47 to 48 yard line.
And here, Poulin knows he's got to get this ball off field, and I love what he does with it here. And he tucks it away and runs forward. Here we go. Poulin fields it in the air, and it's just wheels. Get behind your blocker, let him pick up a guy, and make yourself skinny, get as far as you can, and then make them tackle you forward. The defender had to grab him and throw him forward, gives him a couple more yards.
Reed Van Connet now feels the pressure. They'll bring numbers. There's the pass, and that one's caught, and he heads out of bounds. Nice play there by the Huskers, number 5, Ethan Diakow, the former University of Manitoba product.
On the Huskers offense is getting fired up here. And this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see out of this team. We want to see some passion. And right now, that's what they're doing.
13-yard pickup for Diakow. Coach Bob Reese said he's a very good route runner, and he'll really compliment Brandon Poulin as this season rolls along. And we see number 40 for the Westshore Rebels, Ben Pierick, down. I believe that's the second time he's been down to cramping or injuries today.
Yeah.
Everybody getting hydrated quickly. Those water boys are the unsung heroes.
Well, they got a ton of water out there, but they just can't get it in their body fast enough.
So the Huskers, if they can't score, want to get the ball close enough so it's a chip shot for Ethan Holman and make sure the clock is wound down to almost nothing. So you're playing a little bit of a game here and trying to work the clock in your favor, but also get close enough. They got to be wary of those time count violations. That would be an absolute dagger to the heart.
Well, they got to get organized.
Got to be sharp. Van Connet, 1 in the backfield, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near hash. In motion, handoff. Jovo with a big first down.
There's going to be a hold. This is going to come back. I think they're going to get the first down because I think it was after yards were gained. No, it wasn't. Darn.
Jovo with a great run. That'll go for naught. Ball moves back, and the Westshore bench is delighted.
So frustrating because it's one of the situations that you really, really, really need to make the plays happen and not get penalties.
Well, you'd think they need to get to at least the 30, 35-yard line to have a legitimate shot at the field goal. Or at least power it through for the Rouge to tie this thing up. Ball is overthrown, looking for Poulin.
You see here, I think Poulin went a little bit flat on his route there. He should have been more of a corner type route because that's where he was throwing it to. And he puts the ball up there, and Poulin's coming just a little bit too shallow on that.
2 minutes remaining here in the football game.
So it's going to be an offside on the defense, which is going to keep it first down and move it up 5 yards.
Ball spotted at the 54-yard line of the Huskers. You can feel the nervous energy here in the stands.
Yeah.
Fans urging their team on. Hand off Jovo. Not much of a hole. Closed up. They'll get 2, maybe 3, depending on the spot.
Yeah, it's going to be second and about 12.
Big play for the Huskers here in their first game of the season. Minute 55 to go, down by 1 point. Now, if they do have to punt, do you just try to punt and angle it out of bounds? There's the pass. There's the catch by Poulin. Vaults over his man. May not have enough for the first down, though.
He's going to be short, but not by much.
I believe that's the 9th catch by Poulin today. Minute 43 to go.
It's gonna be
long one we're getting up here in the booth.
About a 1.5. A 1.5. So a really long one.
Got about 10 on the receptions. 3rd down. This is it. Here we go. Huskers now as the Rebels line 3. Pass out wide. Poulin takes the pop, stays on his feet. Brandon Poulin.
Yeah, he's flexing some muscle out there for sure right now. Poulin does a great job, not just catching the ball, but taking a massive pop afterwards here. Gets spun around and just gets hammered by number 23, which is Polis Coco, and then gets it out of bounds.
Well, Poulin is down on his knee. He took quite a pop there.
He did. Yeah, adrenaline can take you so far, but after a second or two, after taking a hit like that, you're going to get a little woozy.
Absolutely whomped, and Ethan Hallman must feel like a man on an island now as the game may come down to his foot here.
They can still keep getting first downs. Keep on going until you got 2 seconds left on the clock, and then get him as close as you can.
They'll tend to Poulin, and is it his wrist? Trainers have been very, very busy as we see Remy Chovo come over and squirt a little cold water on him. He'll get off on his own recognizance, which is to the delight of the crowd here in attendance, and they have witnessed a good one. It's a field goal team practicing now. Logan McDonald fielding the snaps from number 28. Andrew Locke. Huskers back to action. Handoff. Chovo nowhere to go. Rebels swarmed.
He lost.
Gave him nothing.
Lost about 5 yards on that play too. That puts him in a very, very precarious position. So, Poulin came back out there after being, coming off slowly on the last play. Had to sit out a play. Now he's back out there on the field. Wayne looks at me and goes, "It's going to Poulin."
Not a bad option. Here comes Westshore with the pressure.
Oh,
And Newton. Cornett, throws it up. No good. And Ethan Holman, the bell tolls for you.
He had to step up into the pocket here. He spins around here, steps in the pocket. He looks like he's going to get a throw off. And big number 33 just puts a mitt on his arm. Demarius Henderson, and knocks that ball just sideways. Spinning, if you will.
So this is going to be a long field goal. The ball is spotted at the 41. You're looking at about a 52, 53 yarder when all is said and done.
Well, he makes this. I'm taking him in my football pool.
I wouldn't mind seeing him just punt the Rouge in there. Angle it to the sideline, get the point, get the tie. Exactly.
Yeah.
Only problem is they would be putting number 4 and Mr.
Yep.
Coco also back there, and they can run it out in a hurry. What he's got to do is just get as much distance. Whether he gets it accurate or not, get as much distance, get it in there, get some fast guys down there to track down whoever is in the end zone. It looks like it is Bryson Mayo, who doesn't really have the faith that he's going to get it through the uprights. He's kind of standing parallel to them. This will be a 49-yard field goal.
Yeah.
And now a timeout to freeze the kicker. This game's gone long. What's another 5 minutes between friends? Minute 7 left to go here in regulation. Got a great little tweet from Dieter's CJFL. He said, Cactus Jack made a career of intentionally mispronouncing names when he covered the Winnipeg Blue Bombers years ago. So I'm in good company. Of course, Reed's dad played for the Blue Bombers, so there's your tie-in right there.
Yeah.
And what a game we have.
I think we could buy some face if we were doing it intentionally, but we're just really bad at it.
It's not even the Don Cherry where you purposely mispronounce the French names and Swedish names. This is us not getting, I'll be honest with you, it's us not getting a roster sheet until 5 minutes before the game and not knowing who was playing for either side.
Yep.
So BCFC, if you want to help us out, roster sheets a day beforehand would be gold.
Okay, we're doing a broadcast, not a suggestion box over here, Warren.
I am the human suggestion box. Here we go, right down the middle. Minute 7 remaining. Logan McDonald, the holder, as Westshore shows pressure. And what in the world happened there?
I don't even know what to say.
Everything was coming up roses in the first half, and someone got out the shovel and put some fertilizer on those roses in the second.
I don't even know what to say there. He's sitting there. He's not even looking. He's looking at the kicker, saying, are you ready? And then all of a sudden the ball's past him.
They're trying to plead their case to the officials, but I think these officials have been around long enough. Minute 4 remaining. Huskers will need 2 very quick stops here to try to get the ball back. How many seconds between snaps? 25?
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to 25-second play clock.
Hand off to Lubin. Reaching around outside, it ain't going to matter. He's got the first down. Lubin still on his feet. That pretty much is the ball game right there.
I think they'll have to run one more play and eat up some time here.
55 seconds left. What a turn of events. There's a few of the faithful now trying to beat out this heavy Chilliwack traffic.
Yeah, I think they can. Yeah, Wayne was just saying they probably nail it down 3 times here.
These defenders are gassed.
And it showed in the fourth quarter. The heat of the day, the heat down there on the field, it showed in the fourth quarter. The mental errors that have happened here, like that, we're looking to this field goal as the saving grace, and all of a sudden it's,
Big stop by the Huskers there. 34 seconds left, though. Not sure what the timeout situation is. This game, though, has had a little bit of everything, has it not?
Yes, it has.
Some good, some bad, some ugly.
Yeah.
Basically, it is the Clint Eastwood of football games.
You telegraphed where you were going with that one.
I set it up and I knocked it out. Little T-ball home run. Can't feel too good about those ones.
3.5 hours since the opening kickoff.
BBN's going to have to do a ball drive to pay all their camera people for the extra hours they're putting in on this game. 34 seconds left. Ball on the 35. Will be Henkel 35 seconds from going 1-0 as a Westshore Rebel. Hand off to Lubin. Darts around one defender. Taken down, brings up third down, 27 seconds to go. It's going to take a miraculous kick return.
Well, if they punt it here, I mean, if they run it out and they give the ball back with 2.8 seconds, the Huskers will have one shot.
Can anyone do a Doug Flutie where he ran and then he punted the ball through the uprights in that one play and got some points?
Yes, I'm sure you could.
Clock continuing to run. They could almost take a time count violation here and then Start over again with a few seconds left. Henkel works the clock down, 10 seconds to go, clears out the backfield, throws it up. That one out of bounds, 4 seconds left. So if you haven't had enough dramas, this game has not felt like a soap opera. Well,
So you're saying there's a chance.
thank you, Jim Carey. Here we go, 4 seconds.
Yeah.
The fans trying to muster up some belief in this team. A team that last year in the home opener came from behind to win 33-31 over the VI Raiders. In that game, they were behind all game. In this game, they've held the lead on the Rebels.
But they can still do it.
Until late, and there are tired bodies on both sides of the ball, and the Rebels will drop a whole host of players back. Will we see some rugby plays?
I can pretty much guarantee that.
And here we go. Van Konet throws it. He's got the man open, and it's caught. Guarding his way back, tries to get to the open spot, but that one will go for naught. And the football game, not the way the Huskers wanted, but an exciting game nonetheless. And the Westshore Rebels come from behind to win 21-20. Well, for Matt Macri and the cost of VBN Sports, I'm Warren Andrews saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the football game. Good night, everyone.
Next Wednesday, announcing or anything, right?